Miners Incorporated, Nemasket Week.
From Spillane Field in Wareham, we are into week 4 of the YD Red Sox season here in 2023. The East Division leading YD Red Sox are on the road to take on the Wareham Gatemen, who currently sit second in the West as we've made our way over the Bourne Bridge and are here at Spillane Field. Luke West, Poley, Perri, Kitei alongside. Following the off day, Perri going back to that game against Chatham, an 11-5 victory on the road. All kinds of offensive contributions from everybody on this YD team. Familiar faces, Hunter Hines, RJ Austin, Nathan Archer, all homering in that game. New guys as well. Connor Dykstra picked up his first home run of the season. It was really a full team effort, 1 through 9 for YD a couple of nights ago.
Absolutely, Luke. And after a slow start on the mound, there were some tough weather conditions yesterday. It was misty, raining the whole time, and Nick Judas didn't have a great first inning, but came back and ended up going 4 innings, had a really strong performance, and they actually struck out the side in one of those, which allowed YD to only use 3 pitchers the whole time, which is something that Coach Pickler really likes to do. He likes to limit his bullpen numbers. We've seen some other coaches in the league really play for the splits, but that's not YD. And let's talk about the offense. You already named it, 4 home run hitters, and on top of that, 11 runs scored. They had a 7-run inning in the second to bounce back from a 3-0 deficit. It really just up and down the lineup was spectacular to watch.
So YD will take on a Wareham team that currently sits at 7-6-2. They are 2 games back of the West Division leading Kitei Kettleers, but they have been strong at home here at Spillane Field this season, 6-2 on home turf. Riley Eichhoff gets the ball for the Gatemen, the Coastal Carolina Chanticleer in his first season of summer ball. And he will face a YD lineup that's got a few changes in terms of order, but looking pretty similar for field manager Scott Pickler. RJ Austin in left field hits first. Xander Darby hits second at third base. Max Vieira hits third. He's the shortstop. Hunter Hines DHs in the cleanup spot. Will King hitting 5th. He is catching today for YD. Jacob Christian hitting 6th at first base. Hitting 7th is Jacob Jenkins-Cowart, the center fielder. Doug Bleed hitting 8th at second base. And Enzo Apodaca rounding out the order in the 9 spot. Eichhoff, the right-hander, out of the stretch exclusively. We're the team getting ready to take on YD in front of a pretty light crowd here from Spillane Field. Rather unique Spillane Field that sits on a high school campus and is also used as a football field. There's a temporary fence around it, and the goalposts are in foul territory on the left side. 330 down the line in right, 315 down the line in left, and a cavernous center field here from Spillane. Right-hander RJ Austin working from the back of the righty box, and Eichhoff kicks and deals the first pitch. It's a fastball on the bottom part of the zone, 4 strike 1. 6 o'clock our start time. Church bells ringing in the background as we get started here from Wareham. 0-1. Grounded up toward the middle, diving effort from short, and Murillo can't gun it down. Austin has himself a base knock to start things off, and he hits safely once again.
Austin has been on fire, and that's a hit we've seen many times from him, just straight up the middle, really hard hit contact on the ground. He's really good at finding the gaps, and there's a reason he's in that leadoff spot. He's leading the team in average.
Xander Darby now standing in. Was 2 for 4 a couple of nights ago against Chatham. First pitch. Snapped on the inner half, 4 strike 1 to the lefty.
That hit actually brought Austin's average above 400. He's batting .409 now.
Runner on first, nobody out here in the top of the first inning. Snap throw over to first, and Austin is back without a tag.
I think there might have been a play there if there was a tag. He was a little late getting back to the bag, but I don't think Wareham realized.
He's got about 2 steps off first. Darby hitting .230 at the plate. 0-1. Taken in the dirt for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody out here in the top of the first. Wareham wearing the white pants, maroon tops with Gatemen arched across the chest. Camo hats. 1-1 pitch on the way. Taken outside, 2 balls and a strike. YD here on the road wearing the red uniforms. On the lower left, the number, upper right, The YD letters, white pants for the Red Sox, and red hats. The 2-1, bunt is squared. He pulls it back and takes strike 2 on the inner half. And he's got the count even. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the 2 hitters, Andrew Darby, with a runner on first. Riley Eichhoff, who has not given up an earned run yet this season, set up. Runner goes, 2-2, fouled away. And we'll do it again with the count still the same. Eichhoff has pitched just a third of an inning so far this year. Senior from Coastal Carolina. Appeared 20 times for the Chanticleers this past spring, second most on staff. Throws back over to first, and Austin is back once more with a head-first slide.
Eichhoff's teammate Derek Bender over at Bourne has been on fire, was player of the week last week. He hit for the cycle.
2-2 to Darby. Chopper over to third, charging in on it. It's secured by Bozer, is only placed to first, and it skips away. Trickling away from the first baseman, Hussey. Austin up to third. Darby moves to second. Both guys will stop there as Hussey goes to get that himself. And so that'll put 2 in scoring position for YD with nobody out for Max Vieira, the shortstop.
Errors were what lost the game for the Gatemen, the first matchup between these two teams in the 9th inning. To see one here like that in the first inning was a bit of a tough scoop off this gravelly ground, but it's the home team. They should be used to the climate.
Righty on righty here to Max Vieira, the YD shortstop who had himself a nice day against Chatham a couple nights ago. First pitch, taken right down the heart of the plate for strike 1. After a 3-game hitless skid, he was 2 for 5 with a single and a double in the winning effort against Chatham a couple of nights ago. Working back from the righty box with that big knob on his bat. 0-1. Lifted out towards right field, coming over on it. McLean camped underneath it. Austin getting ready to tag. The catch is made, and Austin's going to try for it. Throw at the plate is not in time, and Austin scores. Meanwhile, Darby moves up to third, and it's a sac fly for Max Vieira.
We have such a good view of his acceleration from here. That ball didn't go particularly deep. It was definitely a play that could have been contested, but Austin beat it by a good couple of feet.
Runner on third with 1 out now as YD takes a 1-0 lead here in the top of the first. Left-handed hitter Hunter Hines at the plate for the Red Sox. First pitch to him on the way. And he grounds this one right side, scampering to it, sliding. Caulfield smothers, throws to first. It's a wide throw, but it is in time and keeping on the bag. Hussey applies the tag, coming in to score. Darby makes it 2-0 YD.
Catcher number 30, Will King from Eastern Kentucky.
So an RBI for Hunter Hines that adds to his league leading total. He is well over the 20 RBI mark now in just game number 16. Bases empty, 2 outs for Will King now. First pitch taken outside for ball 1. 2-0 Red Sox off just 1 hit here in the top of inning number 1. 1-0 pitch. This one blasted out towards left field, backtracking Stewart at the wall, and it's out of here. Will King hits it over the left field fence into the bleachers. It's his first of the year, and YD takes a 3-0 lead.
I've been waiting for this moment because he blasts the cover off the ball every time we see him at the plate. YD has picked up where they left off 2 days ago. The off day did nothing to stop their momentum.
King, who has been so good spraying gaps, hitting singles for YD, finally gets one over the wall. And it's 3-0 Red Sox. Jacob Christian now at the plate. The first pitch to him. Taken outside for ball 1. So 3-0 YD off a pair of hits. Single from RJ Austin, a home run from Will King. And now the new San Diego Torero, Jacob Christian at the plate. 1-0, bumped foul. Just announced his transfer to the Division I level after spending this past season at Division II Point Loma Nazarene, where he was the Division II National Player of the Year. Jacob Christian hitting .218 with a home run and 2 batted in here in the Cape League. 1-1. Clips the bottom of the corner for strike 2. Riley Eichhoff looking to work his first complete inning this season after going just 1/3 against Kitei 4 days ago. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch sinks low, 2-2. Bases empty, 2 outs, 3-0 YD in the top of inning number 1 from Spillane Field in Wareham. The glove on the shoulder. Eichhoff sets. The 2-2 deal. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Breaking ball tugged down low. Christian was out in front of it, and that retires the side. YD starts things with a bang. It's 3-0 Red Sox, thanks in part to Will King's first homer of the year. And as we head to the bottom of inning number 1, Finnegan Wall takes the ball for the Red Sox when we return. Stay listening. You are listening to YD Baseball here on the Cape League Broadcast Network.
Colossal lobster rolls piled high on grilled brioche and served.
Bottom of the first inning here from Spillane Field in Wareham. Luke West, Poley, Perri, Kitei alongside. Thanks for spending your evening with us as we kick off the 4th week of Cape League Baseball action. It's 3-0 YD before Wareham even gets a chance to come to the plate. Finnegan Wall, the right-hander on the bump for YD, and deals the first pitch. Down low for ball 1 to David Glancy, who's in the lineup atop it for Wareham, the center fielder. 2 starts on the year for Finnegan Wall. 1-0. Drops in the dirt, 2 balls, no strikes. 0-1 record, 5.62 ERA across 8 innings pitched. He's walked 4, given up 6 hits, and struck out 11. His last outing came a week and a day ago against Chatham. The 2-0 from the wind. Inside, nearly hits Glancy. He evades it, and it's ball 3.
The infield and outfield both are slightly shifted to the left, not as dramatically as we've seen in the past, but there is definitely movement to the left.
3-0 taken all the way, and that's ball 4. So Glancy works the walk. That's what you want your leadoff hitter to do, and that brings up Nick McLean.
Nick McLean from Arizona State.
Arizona State Sun Devil hitting in the 2-hole, trying to cut into this lead for YD that stands at 3-0 in the bottom of inning number 1. Runner on first with nobody out. Wall out of the stretch for the first time, sets at the shoulders. Righty on lefty, sinks down to mid-belt. Now the pitch misses below the zone for ball 1. So far 5 pitches and not a strike yet for Finnegan Wall. McLean hitting .363 this year with 3 bombs and 10 brought in. Light lead over there on first. 1-0. High and away for ball 2.
We've seen this trend of YD pitchers getting off to really slow starts in the first inning, but they have all lasted through at least 4 innings so far this season. Interesting to see how Wall will make adjustments from this point forward.
2 balls, no strikes. Runner goes. The pitch is inside for ball 3. The throw down, and it's in time. Will King guns another down. He has been phenomenal throwing out runners over these past couple of starts behind the plate. Despite a 3-0 count, Finnegan Wall hasn't thrown a strike yet, but there's 1 out now in the inning and the base is empty. The 3-0 pitch And ball 4. So Wall has dealt out 2 4-pitch walks to start off this outing.
First baseman, number
Haven't seen
27,
anybody out
Grant
to talk to
Hussey
him, not Will
from
King
West
nor
Virginia.
any coaches from the YD dugout. And now Grant Hussey, one of the best hitters for power in this lineup. The West Virginia Mountaineer digs into the lefty box.
Hussey is an all Big 12 honorable mention out of West Virginia University.
First pitch to him, and he lines this one right side, base hit.
Hold there.
McLean held up at second as Apodaca gets to that ball and right. And now Wareham with runners on first and second,
Third
and
baseman,
just one
number
out.
6, Bobby Bozer from the University of South Florida.
Brings up Bobby Bozer, the South Floridian.
Go, Bobby.
First team all AAC selection.
Bozer digs into the righty box, first and second, one out. Finnegan Wall still trying to find that strike zone. Set at the shoulders.
All right.
And the pitch home. Off the plate for ball 1. And now time called by Will King. And a coach out of the dugout for YD. So Finnegan Wall has thrown what is scored as technically 1 strike. That was the ball that was put in play from Hussey. But other than that, he has not found the zone. And so a meeting of the minds for YD here in the bottom of the first after a very ideal start at the plate. Things a little bit shaky for the right-hander from California. Finnegan Wall, junior out of UC Irvine. Just chatting it up with his pitching coach right now. Umpire Stephen Williams out to break up the conversation, and it will disperse.
You could see him spinning the ball in his hand the entire time, going through different grips. He didn't stop moving throughout that whole mound visit.
1 ball and no strikes to Bobby Bozer, the third baseman for the Gatemen. Wall sets. Looks back and deals. That pitch misses below the zone for ball 2.
Bozer is batting just 158 on the season. He has walked 10 times, so his on-base percentage considerably higher than his average.
Led South Florida in on-base percentage during the spring. 2-0 pitch in the bottom of the zone for strike 1. And so Finnegan Wall finds the zone for the first time. Despite some of the struggles here in this first inning, hasn't given anything up yet and could get out of this inning in just 1 pitch. Spinning the ball in his glove. Drops it down, the 2-1. Fouled straight back. And a 2-strike count for the first time with Bobby Bozer at the plate. Two balls and 2 strikes. First and second, and 1 out in the bottom of the first inning. 3-0 YD leads over Wareham. Second meeting between these two sides. Look back at second from Wall, now home. Back to second, now the pitch. High above the letters for ball 3.
YD shifted left again with Dub Gleed giving some signs to his catcher at home. Vieira in the middle, and Darby really far over to the left protecting the lines.
3 balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch. Popped up and out of play on the right side. This will get over the bleachers. Landed on something, made quite a thud over there on the right side. Full count with 1 out. Wall over 1 strikeout per inning so far this season on the Cape League. Trying to get his first. Another payoff on the way. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Pump the heat by him for out number 2. And Finnegan Wall is very close to escaping this jam. Landon Wallace, the designated hitter, another West Virginia Mountaineer coming to the plate. Right-handed batter. Wall eyeing in on his battery mate, Will King. Hanging the right arms, spinning the ball against his thigh. Now he's all set up. The first pitch on the way. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Went low in the zone there, and Wallace could not connect.
Wallace is leading the Gatemen in average at 357 coming into this game. He's played just 5 games, a recent addition to the lineup.
2 out of his 5 hits home runs. He's also driven in 3. 0-1 offering on the way. Drops down low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Wallace transferred to West Virginia by way of Nevada. Native of Roseville, California. 1 ball, 1 strike to him. Twirling the bat in the righty box. And pitch. Popped up behind home and out of play. And it's 1-2. Wall just 1 pitch away. Landon Wallace, the DH, facing a 1-2 count out of the 5-hole. Now the pitch. Lifted out towards left field, coming over Austin pretty deep, but before the wall he has it, makes the catch, and that ends the inning. Very threatening for Wareham. They put their first 3 guys on, but can't push across a run. It's still 3-0 YD as we head to inning number 2. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball here on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Top of the second inning here from Wareham. Poley with Perri, Kitei, Gatemen strand 2, and it's still 3-0 YD with the bottom 3 in the order coming up for the Red Sox. Jenkins Cowart leads off the inning. And the first pitch to him on the way. He goes after it, grounds it up the middle. Backhand field at second from Caulfield, throw on the run, bounces in, and it's not in time. And Jenkins Cowart legs it out for an infield single.
That's just his 5th hit of the year. Has been struggling to put the ball in play a little bit, but has done a really good job getting on base. He's been hit a few times and walked, but starting off the inning strong, that's 2 leadoff hits for the Red Sox in these first 2 innings.
Doug Gleed comes up to the plate now for YD with a runner on first and nobody out. Righty on righty. Jenkins Cowart about a step and a half off first. On the first base side of the rubber, the pitch, runner goes, swing and a miss, throw down to second is not in time. Jenkins Cowart slid under the tag. It bounced in at the last moment. Caulfield had a chance, but couldn't apply the tag, and so Jenkins Cowart swipes the bag and moves into scoring position. Lead behind 0-1 after the swing and miss.
Really nice slide from Jenkins Cowart. He went head first behind the bag, just snuck a hand in there before the tag was applied.
Big lead on second, 0-1. Bunt is squared. He pulls it back and takes strike 2. Third base corner came charging in as Bobby Bozer played for the bunt there. Lead down 0-2. Swinging a new bat, all black with the axe-type handle. First time he's using it in a game here today. 0-2 pitch on the way. Zips just below the zone, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Lead hitting 157, 3 for 19. Reached base twice, although he was hitless against Chatham a couple of nights ago. Look back at second, now home. And the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. He was out in front. And Gleed goes down swinging for the second strikeout by Riley Eichhoff.
Right fielder, number 9,
Right fielder number 3, Enzo Apodaca.
Brings up
from
Enzo
Arizona.
Apodaca. Another left-handed swinger against this righty Riley Eichhoff. Runner on second and 1 out here in the top of the second inning. 3-0 YD. Eichhoff fires. Strike one taken on the bottom part of the zone. 0-1 to Enzo, who's hitting .323, provided the walk-off the last time these two teams met. Walked on 4 pitches with the bases loaded in the bottom of the 10th last week at Red Wilson Field. 0-1 offering on the way. Just misses outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Apodaca back in the 9 spot that he has so often occupied. Got the rest day against Chatham a couple of nights ago, so he's had 2 days, pretty fresh coming into this one. 1-1, here comes. Looper, shallow left field. That ball drops in for a base hit. Jenkins Cowart will move up to third and stop there. And a bloop single for Enzo Apodaca keeps the train moving and flips the lineup over for YD as RJ Austin back to the plate for the second time.
Apodaca's been so strong in that 9 spot, almost acting as a double leadoff, really bolstering the bottom of the lineup. 12th hit of the season. He's batting well over 300 after an 0-for-8 start in the early days of June.
Austin is 1 for 1. They're on the corners with 1 out for YD, looking to add on to a 3-0 lead here in the top of the second. First pitch on the way. Taken for strike 1 at the top part of the zone. Austin has had a tendency to be aggressive, go after first pitches. Lays off that time. He's down 0-1. Very small lead at first from Apodaca, but a throw over anyway from Eichhoff to check on him. No balls and a strike to the Vanderbilt Commodore. One of many from the Vandy boys occupying the Cape Cod League. 0-1, pitch on the way. Misses low. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Austin is a former U18 USA baseball player. He's been really strong since his teenage years and started right away at Vandy.
1-1, liner, right side, out in right field. McLean is there, makes the catch. Jenkins Cowart charging home, and the throw is wide. Apodaca trying for second. The throw there is in time, and that ends the inning. YD, though, does tack on 1 more as Jenkins Cowart comes in to score on the sac fly by RJ Austin, and it's 4-0 Red Sox now as we head to the bottom of the second inning. You're listening to YD Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network.
Shortstop number 3, Sebastian Murillo.
Bottom of the
from
second
Georgia.
inning here from Wareham. Sebastian Murillo leads off for the Gatemen. We've got 3 guys on base in the last inning but failed to score. Murillo, the shortstop, facing off against Finnegan Wall, who worked around those base runners back in the first. He returns to the bump from the wind. The first pitch to the righty. Slides outside for ball 1. Murillo, Georgia Bulldog, was previously at Long Beach State, hitting .250 this year. The 1-0 pitch on the way. Misses up and in. 2 balls and no strikes. He's driven in 7 on 9 hits.
His teammate Leighton Finley, a pitcher for YD, looking at him from the opposing bullpen.
2-0. Lined out, down the line and left. That ball is going to get down and just foul. Arturo Belmonte had a really good look at it, our third base umpire, and that ball dropped just a hair left of the line. Would have been extra bases for Murillo, but instead he will return back to the plate. 2 balls and a strike to Sebastian Murillo. 6, 7, 8 hitters coming up for the Gatemen here in the bottom of inning number 2. From the wind, now the pitch. Lined up the middle base hit into left center field. Long turnaround first, and now stuttering to a stop. Murillo will retreat back to the first base bag, but he's got himself a knock to lead off the second inning. Every single leadoff hitter on both sides has reached base. That's the second hit for the Gatemen, and it brings up Zach Stewart, runner on first and nobody out. Stewart riding just below the Mendoza line right now with 193. 6 for 31 this season. First pitch to him. That's in there for strike 1. Missouri State Bear, Missouri Valley Freshman of the Year in 2023. Modest lead over on first base from Murillo. Wall set at the letters. Now the pitch. Slices in there for strike 2.
Stewart, the lefty, rocking the multicolor blue and white red gloves and the long flowing locks like Noah Syndergaard.
0-2 pitch to him. Just outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Wall definitely looking to locate that corner, just a hair off. And it's 1-2. Now the pitch on the way. Sinks down in the dirt, quickly recovered by Will King. He'll hold the runner on first, and the count is even. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Zach Stewart.
He's following in the footsteps of his father, who also played at Missouri State back in 1998.
2-2 pitch. Popped up, middle infield, backing up from second base. A tough play, and a diving catch is made. Throw now behind the runner is not in time. Dub Gleed out in center field with the effort. And wow, that's the first out of the inning.
Catcher number 24.
That was absolutely spectacular by Gleed. I thought he had no chance at it. He dove like Superman and caught it in the air while he was probably horizontal. Really, really impressive play from the second baseman.
Now Hernandez at the plate. Runner on first and 1 gone. Hopping around on first, the pitch on the way, and it sinks down low for ball 1. Hernandez, the catcher from Seton Hall. Sophomore from Trenton, New Jersey. Snap throw over to first by Finnegan Wall. Tag is applied after Murillo is back in time. Hernandez teammates with Max Vieira for a Seton Hall Pirates team that had a successful year. Another throw to first is not in time, but barely. Much closer play that time from Finnegan Wall. Hernandez hitting .352 this year through 17 at-bats. Another throw over to first. It's not in time. And actually, that last play was not as close as I initially thought. The corner of the bag is covered up by this ash-colored gravel. That is the dirt is the infield. 1-0, fouled straight back. So the corner of the bag looks like it's still part of the dirt. And when Murillo was placing his hand on it, didn't look like he was touching the base at all, but that is the corner of the base. Very weird setup here in Wareham, where just the home plate area and the pitcher's mound are made out of dirt. The rest is a gray, kind of gravelly type substance. 1-1 pitch, runner goes, pitch is in there for a strike, throw down by King, and the runner is hosed again. Another one gunned down by Will King. That's his second of the game already, and that clears out the base paths. There are 2 out in the bottom of the second.
What a throw from Will King. That one could not have been more perfect. Beat the runner by a few feet. Ever since missing a few at the beginning of the season, King has been really solid defensively too.
1-2. Drops down low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So Wall trying to face the minimum here in the second. Bases are now empty with 2 gone in a 4-0 game led by YZ. From the windup now, the pitch on the way. Swing and a foul tip straight back, almost a slow motion swing there from Hernandez. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Hernandez coils back up from the back of the righty box. Wall winds, lifts the knee and deals. Sinking low, that one misses for ball 3.
Hernandez, one of just a few Gatemen batting over 300. He's at 353 with 6 hits on the season in 7 games.
Here comes the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Wall with his second strikeout. And once again, after giving up the leadoff hit, he works around it. And with the second inning over, hangs another 0. We head to the third. It's 4-0 YD. You're listening to Red Sox baseball here in the Cape League Broadcast Network. Top of the third inning here from Spillane Field in Wareham. 2-hitter Xander Darby leads off for a YD team that leads 4-0 over the Gatemen here in the top of inning number 3. Riley Eichhoff retakes the mound. Righty on lefty in the first offering comes in. Fouled behind home plate, skied out of play, 0-1. Darby reached on an error his last time up after he grounded one over to third. Then Bobby Bozer threw low onto first and was not picked by Hussey. 0-1 pitch on the way. Takes down low, 1 ball, 1 strike. 3 runs in the first, 1 in the second for YD. Had a barn burner between these two teams last time. If you learn anything from that, it's that the game is never over. 1-1. Outside for ball 2. That went YD's way as they trailed heavily throughout that game and then mounted a large comeback in the 9th to tie it. And 1 in the bottom of the 10th and a walk-off walk. 2 balls and a strike to Xander Darby. And pitch. Lifted foul and over the bleachers, out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
I think if I could use one word to describe this team this season, it's been resilient. We've seen a lot of those late inning comebacks, late inning hits. They just fight and fight until the very last out is completed.
2-2 the count to Darby. Pitch on the way. Taken in the dirt for ball 3. Darby trying to work his way on base for the second time. He's already scored a run in this game. Lights flick on. There was a PA announcement asking for them to be turned on during the inning break. The 3-2. Ball 4 on the inside, just missed. And he's on base for the second time. Xander Darby continues the string of leadoff hitters reaching.
I think the resiliency applies to these at-bats
Shortstop
too.
number
I've seen
29,
so many really long
Vieira
at-bats.
from
That one,
Seton
Darby
Hall.
got down early, fought back to a full count, fouled one off during that, and now is aboard with the walk.
Max Vieira hit a sac fly his first time to the plate. He's up with a runner on first and nobody out. First pitch to the Seton Hall Pirate. Swung on and missed for strike one. Brought it under the inner half. Vieira couldn't connect. No balls and a strike. One of the top exit velocity producers in the entire Cape Cod League, Max Vieira. Regularly getting into the high 100s, nearing 110 miles an hour. As the throw comes over to first to check on the runner, and Darby is back in time.
Second baseman Garen Caulfield really far shifted over towards second, but with Hussey covering the bag at first, there's a big space.
Next pitch comes in, it bounces down low, it's cured, and the throw by Hernandez down to second is in time to get Darby. He was sniffing out to get something in the dirt, he got it, and then took off, but off the high hop at his shoulders, Hernandez was able to barehand and throw him out at second base. So the bases clear out, count evens at 1-1 to Vieira. And now one out in the top of the third, still 4-0 YD. Ikov sets, bouncing the front foot. Now he deals. Just off the outside corner there, 2 balls and a strike. So a lot of caught stealings. That's now the 3rd time that has happened in this game. 4th time someone's been caught while running the bases. 2-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Change piece that time that Vieira was out in front of, and the count is even. Two balls and 2 strikes. A breath on the mound from Eichhoff. Now he's set just below the Gatemen on his jersey. And the pitch. Low near the feet. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Another full count, second and as many hitters here in the top of the 3rd inning. Bases are clear with 1 out. Whitey in front 4-0. Fans continue to file in. Payoff pitch on the way. Soft lifter out toward shallow center field, racing in on it. Glancy watches it drop in front of him. It's a bloop hit for Max Vieira. So maybe time to start a new streak. It's up to 2 games in a row with a knock for Max. And another runner on first now with 1 out for the DH, Hunter Hines, who hit into an RBI ground out his last time.
That ball hung up in the air for so long, it felt impossible that it was going to drop. Probably dropped in one of very few places on the field where that would not have been caught because the outfield was playing so deep.
Throw comes over to first and Vieira is back. Mentioned right off the top, down the lines, this field is not super deep. It reads 330 and 315, but honestly looks a little bit shorter. But out there in center, it is very, very large. Glancy had to come a long way. First pitch to Hines. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Hines, of course, hit that grand slam a couple nights ago against Chatham. Has his 22nd RBI of the season today after that ground out back in inning number 1. That continues to lead the league. He also leads the league in homers. Throw comes over to first, and Vieira's again back with a slide. No balls and a strike. The count to Hunter Hines. Hit the ball over the road his last time up on a home run that was estimated to go about 420 feet. Came up in a huge spot in that win for YD. 0-1. Wrapped foul. Just a chopper over first base side. It's knocked down by Cam Trudel, YD first base coach, and he tried to flip to his pitchers, but it hit off the screen in front of him. YD actually is mostly not in the dugout. They're around it, covered by some netting that has been put up because the dugout is flooded due to the rain that came in yesterday and today. 0-2 to Hines. Ball outside, runner goes late, and the throw down to second's not in time. Vieira took off a little bit later there, delayed his jump, but got in there to swipe the bag and move into scoring position, and Scott Pickler continuing to be very aggressive on the base pads here for YD in the top of the 3rd. It pays off for him.
The middle infield was just split to cover Hines, and they did not expect the steal attempt, just caught Wareham off guard.
1-2 to Hines. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Went golfing down low, couldn't connect with it. Strikeout number 3 for Riley Eichhoff, and there are 2 down here in the top of the 3rd.
Number 30, Will King from Eastern Kentucky.
Will King, who hit his first homer of the season, a solo shot back in the first inning, returns to the plate. Runner on second, 2 outs. YD looking to avoid a scoreless inning at the plate for the first time today. Step off and a lazy move over towards second base. Just a pump fake, actually, from Eichhoff to reset his pitch clock. Now he's back all set up. And the first pitch to the righty, King. Taken on the bottom of the zone for strike 1.
King second on the team with that home run brings him to double digits in RBIs, the only Red Sox member in double digits other than Hunter Hines.
0-1 pitch. He takes outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Seemed like every single one of his RBIs, too, has come up in a clutch moment. Had 2 on opening day in that pinch hitter scenario when YD really needed him. Didn't end up getting the job done, but King certainly did his part in that game. And it certainly carried through from the early part of the season. 1-1. Check swing. The ball bounces in the dirt, appeal onto first, and they say he didn't go around. So it's 2 balls and a strike to the Eastern Kentucky Colonel Will King. Grabbing on the middle of his bat, gets some pine tar on the hands. Now he's all ready. 2-1 pitch. Fastball zipped away. 3 balls and a strike. Jacob Christian on deck. Strikeout victim his first time up for YD. Runner on second with 2 outs in the top of the third. 4-0 Red Sox and a 3-1 count to the catcher Will King. Eichhoff deals. Hopper foul on the left side. Gets past Scott Pickler in the third base coach's box and rolls over to the goalposts that are in foul territory here at Spillane Field. This is a high school football field during the fall that converts into a baseball field for the summers. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Will King. Pitch on the way. Taken in the dirt for ball 4. First walk issued by Eichhoff, or I beg your pardon, the second, after he had one to lead off the inning
Jacob Christian
to Xander Darby, and that puts runners on first and second and prolongs the inning as Jacob Christian moves into the plate.
Christian struck out swinging in his first time around.
Large lead on first by King, who's not being held. The pitch on the way, swung on and missed. Christian out in front of the first offering for strike 1. Wind is blowing out towards center field here in Wareham, just over the bridge. No balls and a strike to count. Out of the stretch, Eichhoff fires. Tapper foul.
Another lefty shift in the infield with 3 either around or on the left side of second base.
No balls and 2 strikes to Jacob Christian. Wiggling his hips as he gets ready. 0-2 comes home. Just got a piece and fouled it back. Still 0-2 as he spoils the 2-strike offer.
He's been ahead of all of these, but the last 2 has managed to just get a piece off the tip of the bat. Wonder if we'll see him sit back a little bit more on this next pitch.
0-2 on the way. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Was out in front once more, and that retires the side. A 0 on the scoreboard in the YD column for the first time in the top of inning number 3, and it's 4-0 Red Sox as we head to the bottom of the inning. Stay tuned. You're listening to YD Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Bottom of the third inning here from Spillane Field in Wareham. 9-1-2 hitters coming up for the Gatemen, trailing YD by a 4-0 score here on this Wednesday night. Finnegan Wall back on the mound for YD, facing off against Garen Caulfield. Pitch on the way. Lifted up right in front of home plate up the first base side. Wall called off by Christian, and he reaches over and makes the catch right in front of the mound for out number one. One pitch, one out in the third.
Christian stole that out from Finnegan. Wall put his glove right on top of Wall's. Wall had a funny little look on his face as he danced away after that out.
Number 11, David
So back to the
Glancy
top of the order we
from
go.
Notre Dame.
David Glancy walked his first time up and then was caught trying to steal second. Crouched low in the righty box. First pitch to him. Sinks low, 4-1. Glancy plays at Notre Dame. Pitch on the way to him. And that misses for another ball. Beg your pardon, he plays at St. John's. Mixed him up, he plays for the Red Storm. 2-0 pitch. Misses for ball 3. All Big East second teamer this year for the Red Storm. 3 balls, no strikes from the wind. Wall pitches. Fastball in there for strike 1.
Glancy had an even 50 hits on the season, batting .284 with a bunch of extra bases in there.
3-1 offering on the way. And taken for ball 4. So he will trot over to first. Played this past year at St. John's, transferred to Notre Dame. That's it. He'll be with the Fighting Irish next year. Grad transfer, making his way to South Bend. And he is over on first now for Nick McLean with 1 out in the bottom of the third.
McLean was the second 4-pitch walk from Wall to start off the first inning.
Righty on lefty, hanging the arms on first. No go from the runner. Pitch on the way is fouled back. And it's 0-1. It took all the way until the cleanup hitter, Bobby Bozer, for Finnegan Wall his first time through to actually get a strike on a batter. 0-1 on the way. Lifted in the air and foul behind home.
One of my favorite parts of Nick McLean's page on the Arizona State website is that he had 5 assists from the outfield, and the most crucial one was against his former team, UCLA, in the final series of the regular season. I bet that had to feel good.
0-2 to the lefty. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Finnegan Wall continuing to bring the heat. Third strikeout in the third inning. And now with 2 gone and a runner on first, that brings up Grant Hussey, who's 1 for 1. 1 of 2 to reach base on a base knock. That came back in that first inning for him. Lead has gotten smaller on first from Glancy. Wall pitching from the first base side of the bump. Comes set. Deals the first pitch. Tapped foul behind home. Looks like that landing area, he does not extend super far, Wall. He's got a very narrow stance, but mound already looks very torn up through just 2.5 innings. 0-1 comes in and burns the top of the zone for strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes to Grant Hussey. Finnegan Wall trying to work his third scoreless. Pitch count up to 48. 0-2, he fires. Pushed foul. And that hits off the school building right next to us. No balls and 2 strikes still to Grant Hussey. Crowd that has continued to grow in size here from Wareham. In the bottom of the third, Wall looking to end things. The pitch. Just called a ball outside, just missed it there. And so 1-2 the count.
Lead backed up all the way to shallow right field.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Wall sets at the shoulders, drops to the letters. Now the pitch. Breaks in the dirt. Will King picks it up with his free hand and Looks over at the runner, who's in no move to go over towards second. That's David Glancy. Count evens up at 2-2. Grant Hussey, the lefty, waits in. Pitch home. Chopper right of the mound. Christian has it himself, will take it himself to the bag as he twirls and steps on the bag after a couple steps for out number 3. Another scoreless inning from Finnegan Wall. He's had base runners in all 3, but has dealt with them nicely. It's 4-0 YD as we head to the top of the 4th. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network.
Top of the 4th at Wareham. YD leads the Gatemen 4-0. And it's Jacob Jenkins Cowart facing Riley Eichhoff for the first time. He beat out a throw for an infield single in his first time around. YD has had a leadoff man aboard in every inning so far. First pitch on the way, swung on sharply out towards right center. And it's caught in deep center field by David Glancy. Might have been a home run at any other field, but here in this cavernous center field, as you called it, Luke, an unfortunate out. Really solid contact from Jenkins Cowart.
Yeah, hit that ball on a line, and Glancy did well. He was played deep, but to get back to that ball, not let it get over his head, that is extra bases at least most of the time.
Dub Gleed holds off on a first pitch called strike. Struck out swinging in his first time around. UC Irvine Anteater, quite a few Anteaters on this YD team. Eichhoff set the pitch, swung on and missed, and the count's even 1-1. A regular infield, the middle infield slightly pinched towards second base. A big stretch from Eichhoff. Ball swinging, now back in the glove. The kick in the deal, in the dirt for ball 2. YD put up 3 in the first inning, 1 in the second. 2 of those runs were on sacrifice flies. Been really good at putting the ball in play so far today. Counts 1-2 to Gleed. Pitch on the way, high and away for ball 3. That last pitch was actually called a strike, not a ball, so the count is 2-2. Eichhoff set, the 2-2. Just outside, and the count is full. Hernandez back behind the plate in his blue gear representing Seton Hall. Full count to Gleed, no outs. Popped up into foul territory, just in fair territory, caught by Grant Hussey, the first baseman. That's the second out of the inning. 2 up, 2 down for the Red Sox, brings up Enzo Apodaca in the 9th spot.
Right fielder number 3, Enzo Apodaca.
Lead is seeing the ball better. He's not really chasing that much. He's just looking to start to find some barrels.
Apodaca had a bloop single to left field in his first time around. The lefty holds off at the first pitch. It's a strike. Fastball on the inside corner of the zone. It's a righty on a lefty matchup. Apodaca back in his stance, wiggling the bat. The 0-1 swung on, fouled back into the net, and it's 0-2. Apodaca sporting the red gear, no elbow guard. Interesting. The 0-2, check swing, held off, ball 1. Now back into his stance. He hasn't even left the box. Eichhoff has been working quickly. He's set at the belt. The pitch on the way. Blooped again towards second base, this time in the glove of Garen Caulfield. He was backed up slightly to the shallow outfield. Works out for the Gatemen, 3 up, 3 down. We head to the bottom of the 4th as YD leads 4-0. You're listening to YD Baseball on the Cape Cod Broadcast Network. Wall back on the mound for the 4th. Base runners in every inning so far, but has held Wareham off the board. He's facing Bobby Bozer. Struck out swinging his first time around. The first pitch spiked in the dirt ahead of the plate. King asks for a new ball. The count's a ball and nothing. Wide infield regular, middle infield slightly pitched. The pitch from Wall, swung on and missed. Count even 1-1. Bottom of the 4th, YD leads 4-0. Wall set, the kick and deal. Popped up, out of play, behind the plate. Count is 1-2, no outs. Bozer is the leadoff batter of the inning. Infield backed up to the grass. The line's protected. 1-2 low, and the count moves to 2-2. Wall adjusting his hat, now stretching. Stares as his batter for a second, into the windup. The 2-2 hit well out towards center field, shallow center field coming in. Jenkins Cowart watches it drop in front of him. Again, center field is so deep that when you're playing backed up, tough to come get those shallow balls. Well hit from Bobby Bozer, and he's aboard for the first time today. Landon Wallace, who swings at the first pitch, and the count's 0-1. He flew out in his first time around. Wall checks the runner on first. Solid lead from Bozer. Now into the windup. Swung on and missed again. Strike 2. Wallace just ahead of this ball. Being fooled by the off-speed. Christian protecting over at first. The infield slightly shifted left. Big gap between first and second. Wall checks the runner again. Bozer twisting his foot. The pitch outside. Back pick to first. Good scoop in the dirt from Christian, but the tag not on in time. King spiked it slightly right before the base. And the count is 1-2. Wallace really digging into this gravel. Wall sets at the letters. The pitch in the dirt again, an identical pitch, and the count's 2-2.
Wall's put-away pitch so far has been the fastball when he could just pump it by people. He's not getting as much swing and miss on that breaking ball in the dirt. See if he goes to try and elevate here.
The 2-2 popped up towards shallow left field. Austin sprinting in on it, makes the grab, runner forced to retreat. This time it hung up in the air enough for Austin to come in. He's also in the smallest part of the ballpark at just 315 feet. And that's the first out for the Red Sox. Second fly out of the day for Landon Wallace.
Yeah, off the bat it looked like that might have spelled trouble, but just hung up a little bit too long for it to generate anything for Wareham.
It's Sebastian Murillo. Had a hit today and then was caught stealing over at second base. His first pitch spiked in the dirt again. A nice grab from King behind the plate, and he asks for a new ball. Wallace taking his time, moving back to the mound. Bozer still on first, has yet to take his lead, and now he does. Twisting that back leg, digging into the dirt. Wall is set, the 1-0. Just outside, ball 2. Wall takes his time, checks the runner. Bozer takes a couple more steps towards second, looks ready to run. The 2-0, outside, ball 3. Gleed is covering the bag over at second because there is 3 on the left side of second for Murillo. Another one of Coach Pickler's shifts, the 3-0, low, ball 4. It's a 4-pitch walk, and Murillo is aboard for the second time today.
Left fielder number 53, Zach Stewart from Missouri State.
Here goes Z. You got one. Right second over. Oh, got one.
Zach Stewart out of Missouri State, back around, flew out in his first time at the plate, the lefty, facing the righty pitcher Wall. Now runner is on first and second. YD still leads 4-0. Bottom of the 4th. Wall, the first pitch, swung on and missed. A check swing from Stewart, but he went around before he could stop himself. Counts 0-1. Wall adjusting his grip in the hanging right hand. Now back glove at the letters. Second pitch, grounded, foul up the first baseline. It's 0-2 to Zach Stewart. Double play could end the inning. Once again, runners aboard for Wareham, but Wall has been working well with runners in scoring position so far today. He sets, hasn't even looked back to check the runners. Now he does. The 0-2, just outside for ball 1. We have yet to see a called strikeout today. I thought that might be it, but from our vantage point, difficult to tell where the ball falls over the plate. Counts 1-2 with an out. Runners on first and second. Bottom of the 4th. Back pick moves to second. Runner is safe. Pretty sneaky move from Wall. He had yet to throw a pickoff in this inning. There was just that back pick from King behind the plate. The 1-2. Wall deals. Swung on and missed. A strikeout for Finnegan Wall. Runners still on first and second. Now there's 2 outs. Wall could once again work himself out of a little bit of a jam. It's Jedier Hernandez in the 8th spot. Struck out swinging in his first time around. Wall staring him down with the glove at the letters. Now set at the shoulders. Checks the runner, the pitch. Swung on, miss hit up towards second. Christian has it. Tosses it to Wall, and that's the inning. Wall works himself out of 2 base runners once again. YD still leads 4-0. We head to the top of the 5th on the Cape League Broadcast Network.
and a great career.
Top of the order for the Red Sox, it's R.J. Austin facing back again against Riley Eichhoff, who's still hammering away back for his 5th inning of work. Takes a big stretch after giving up 4 early. He's put zeros on the board the last 2. Nods at Hernandez. First pitch on the way. Austin holds off on ball 1 low and outside. Back into his stance, working with the pitch clock. It's been a quick game so far. The 1-0 grounded up towards first, miss hit by Austin, sprinting over to the bag. Toss from Hussey to Eichhoff. The pitcher beats the runner, and Austin back to the dugout. Really just missed contact. It was a slow dribbler up towards second, and that's out number 1.
It was early that time and just got it off the end of the bat. Just a slowly hit ground ball that sometimes you have a chance on to beat that out, but Wareham played it well.
Good talk in the infield. Darby at the plate, swings at the first pitch and misses for strike 1. Darby has been on base twice today. He was caught stealing last time around after a walk. Now facing an 0-1 count. And he takes strike 2 outside. Eichhoff painting the corners of the zone. Now ahead 0-2 with an out, top of the 5th. Eichhoff deals in the dirt, ball 1. One and 2. Eichhoff nods. Darby wiggling the bat. The 0-2 just fouled off to stay alive. Count remains 1-2 to Darby, who is sporting, as always, the blue accessories representing UC Santa Barbara. The Gauchos, his collegiate team. 1-2 pitch on the way at the shoulders, ball 2. Just missed the top of the zone. Count evens up 2-2. Darby swinging the bat below the knees. Now he's back into his stance. The lefty on the righty. The 2-2 hammered out towards right field. That's going back to the wall, and it's off the wall. Darby going for extra bases, and he's into second safely. Stand-up double for Xander Darby. I thought that had a chance at getting out of here. Instead, hits the wall right below the tape, but really strong from Xander Darby.
Shortstop, number 29.
Well, they needed about 2 more feet of height to put that one over, but man, has he been seeing the ball well or what? Xander Darby aboard for the 3rd time in as many plate appearances, and he is just really starting to settle in to this wood bat season and find those barrels.
It's Max Vieira now with a sac fly and a single today. Just a skied blooper to shallow center field. The first pitch to him is outside for ball 1. Darby goes back to the bag, now putting on his sliding glove. Hunter Hines on deck. Eichhoff sets. He pitches. Swung on and fouled back behind the press box. Count to Vieira's 1-1. 1 out in the top of the 5th. Red Sox still lead 4-0. Darby on second base. Vieira already with an RBI today. 3rd time through the order for the Red Sox. Eichhoff now set, stares down his opponent. The 1-1. Check swing did not go from Vieira. Counts 2-1. Caulfield shifted over, covering second. Big hole between first and second. Hussey shifted away from the line. That first baseline unprotected. The 2-1 chopped up the first baseline, but soft contact right to Hussey. Takes 1 step, puts the toe on the bag. Darby does advance to 3rd, so YD with a runner on 3rd and 2 outs. Another missed contact. Eichhoff has been doing really well at making YD get that soft contact here in the 5th.
From Mississippi State.
Now we see Ryan Smith out of the dugout. Pitch count is elevating a little bit for Eichhoff. He is up to 78 pitches here through 4 2/3. No call to the bullpen yet. One of the most unique bullpens, home bullpens I should say, in the Cape League. It's elevated off the ground out there and left, and now we are going to see a call that way, and a new pitcher will trot out for the Gatemen.
We will head to a quick break as this new pitcher will come in to face the RBI machine, Hunter Hines. It's Perri, Kitei, and Poley on the Cape
This
League
call to the
Broadcast Network.
bullpen is brought to you by
Hunter Hines back for his third time around, facing a chance. D'Aquila, the right-hander, throws out of a three-quarters kind of arm slot. Short arms it a little, not quite full extension on the right arm, holding the pitch behind his back. Now set in the glove, flowing lawn locks behind him. First pitch on the way, below the knees for ball one. Hines had a sacrifice hit and went down swinging in his second time around. Already an RBI in the game. The 0-1 fouled back and away. And the count is 1-1. Darby on third. Counts 1-1 with 2 outs. At the top of the fifth, YD still leads 4-0 at Wareham. The 1-1 grounded up towards second. And Caulfield makes the out at third. Darby ran home, but that ends the inning. Score still 4-0. And we head to the bottom of the fifth, halfway through on the Cape League Broadcast Network.
Second baseman, number 20, Garen Caulfield from the University of Arizona.
Garen Caulfield out of Arizona, starting things off against Finnegan Wall, who is also back for his 5th inning of work. We've seen long starts for both of these pitchers. The kick and deal misses the bottom of the zone for ball 1. Caulfield flew out in his first time around. And it's lined into left field for a base hit. Austin lets it go through his legs, now collects it. Runner held up at first. Really solid contact from Caulfield.
Center fielder, number 11, David Glancy from Notre Dame.
So it's David Glancy back at the top of the order, 3rd time around for the Gatemen. Another leadoff runner aboard. Wall set from the stretch. The first pitch, low for ball 1. Caulfield not a huge lead over at first. The Gatemen have already been thrown out at second twice today by King. Gleed shifted over to the left. Counts 1-0 with no outs. Runner on first. The pitch on the way is outside for ball 2. 2-0 to Glancy. He's already walked twice today. The pitch finally finds the zone from Wall, and it's 2-1. Nice fastball on the inside corner. Glancy shrugs his shoulders, gets back in there. Has a navy blue elbow guard on to match his navy blue helmet. Wall set, a deep breath. The 2-1, just outside, ball 3. Glancy being cautious over at first. Wall barely checks on the runner. Really a small lead, now looks over quickly. Ball in the glove, set. Wall deals, low, ball 4, and it's the 3rd walk of the day for David Glancy.
Right fielder, number 15, Nick McLean.
Scott Pickler, it looks
from
like he's going to call to
Arizona
his
State.
bullpen here. It might have been one of those situations where he said you're going to go through a couple batters or you get maybe 2 more base runners, but it looks like Pick's going to go out and take the ball here.
So multiple base runners allowed in each inning, but Wall has kept the Gatemen off the board. Pickler has yet to take the ball. No movement in the bullpen. And now there will be as the umpire waves over. And some action hidden from us by some advertising out in center field. We'll have a new pitcher. Wall finishes the day allowing no runs through 4. We'll take a break on the Cape League Broadcast Network. It's Jason Doktorzik on the mound in relief for the third time this season. He's gone 8 innings so far on the Cape with 4 hits allowed, just 1 earned run, 3 walks in there as well. Final line for Finnegan Wall, 4 strikeouts, 5 walks, 4 hits, but no runs allowed. YD leads 4-0 at the top of the 5th. 2 on, nobody out for the Gatemen after a hit from Garen Caulfield and another walk from David Glancy that ended the day for Wall. And Nick McLean will be the first to face Doktorzik. Doktorzik out of Nevada. Big height difference in this one. McLean just listed at 5'10", Doktorzik well above 6 feet. Out of the stretch, checks the runner on second. First pitch, popped up into right field. Going back is Apodaca. Runner tags, throw on the way, and it's cut off by Gleed. Caulfield advances on the fly, 1 out, and Glancy held up at first.
It's nice as a reliever to get that first out. Quick and easy, does advance that runner up, but the double play in effect. Doktorzik can make this very quick on himself if he's able to draw a ground ball.
The righty looking at Caulfield, and now at his batter, it's Grant Hussey, who has a single and a ground out, 1 for 2. Doktorzik back in the stretch. First pitch in there for strike 1. The infield is pinched in. Christian guarding Glancy over at first. Darby backed up a little bit on third, close enough to the line. The 0-1. Swung on, hit well out towards left field. Coming over, Austin makes the grab. Runner goes, the throw on the way is not in time. That ball was hit deep enough that Caulfield basically had a free bag, and Wareham is on the board. Glancy advances on the fly, and the score is 4-1.
Third baseman, number 6, Bobby Bozer from the University of South Florida.
Hey, get him in, Bob. Good job, Dave. Got 2.
Bobby Bozer back, struck out swinging at a single in his last time around. First pitch for him. In and out of the glove of Will King. It's a strike, but King can't hold on to it, and Glancy advances to third. No balls and a strike to Bozer. 2 outs, a runner on third. The Gatemen have already got 1 back. The score is 4-1. YD trying to hold any others off. These base runners were inherited by Doktorzik, so they will go under the line from Wall. Glove at the shoulder as he stares down Bozer. Righty on righty. The 0-1. Outside, ball 1. Glancy taking his lead on third and getting some words of wisdom from his third base coach. Doktorzik back, set. He pitches. Swung on and missed. Foul ball, but called a pass ball. And the runner goes home. Doktorzik thought he got the tag on. I thought that ball definitely got a piece of the bat, but it looks like it just went off the tip of the glove of Will King. Heads up base running from Glancy at third. Doktorzik, I think, thought it was a foul ball as well because he didn't hustle over to the bag, and the score is 4-2. 1-2 to Bozer. And ball 2 is outside. The 2-2. Hit out towards center field. Coming in, Jenkins Cowart makes the grab. Barely had to move. That ends the inning, but the Gatemen have cut the lead in half. It's 4-2 as we head to the bottom of the 5th, 6th on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Top of the sixth at Wareham as the Red Sox lead the Gatemen 4-2. Two were put back on the board in the bottom of the fifth. And it's Will King, the home run hitter of the day, leading off in the top of the sixth, facing Chance D'Aquila, who came in relief in the last inning. He nods, deals the first pitch. King fouled up, could be playable, but out of play. Hits off the roof of a little building just beyond the bleachers, and the count is 0-1. King has reached twice today on a home run and a walk, making him 1 for 1. Had a solo shot earlier in the day, really far back in the box right now. The 0-1 outside ball for ball one. King out of Eastern Kentucky has really had kind of a breakout season on the Cape. The wind and deal fouled up the third baseline. Coach Pickler watching that go by. And King is down 1-2, no outs. King's leading off the inning. It's the top of the sixth. A little bit of a squat, glove at the belt. Now the pitch on the way from D'Aquila fouled back, and the count remains the same. The lights on fully. It's a very overcast night, a little bit of mist in the air, certainly humid. The 1-2. Outside, ball two. Regular infield from the Gatemen, backed up to the edge of the grass. Outfield playing deep, particularly in center. The 2-2 chopped up the middle, picked up by Murillo. The throw in time. King can't beat it out. Murillo charged it. A really nice play from the Gatemen infield.
That was a really nice play. A two-hopper that he got on the edge of the infield grass. He was all the way out with his heels next to the outfield and threw that on the run and beat King by a pretty considerable margin.
Definitely beaten by a lot more than I thought. The first pitch from Christian grounded up the third baseline, picked up by Bozer, throwing the way, and that's in time. Two nice plays from the defense on the left side of the field, and the Gatemen have 2 up, 2 down.
That ball was pulled really hard down the line and actually carried Bozer about a step into foul territory. He was back near the very corner of the infield dirt where it borders the outfield and the line, and fired a seed over to first.
It was hit so hard, Bozer got it quickly, had a lot of time to make the throw. First pitch to Jenkins Cowart is a ball outside. 1 for 2 on the day, started things off with an infield single, flew out his last time around, swings at this one, it's fouled out of play. The count is 1-1. His last time around, Jenkins Cowart hit that ball well over 300 feet, but to the deepest part of the park, and it was caught by Glancy out in center. The 1-1 spikes in the dirt, ball 2. Jenkins Cowart trying to make D'Aquila avoid facing the minimum. Give YD a base runner, the 2-1. A called strike 2, and the count evens up. 2 outs, top of the 6th. D'Aquila has done very nicely in relief. The 2-2 in the dirt, it's a full count. Jenkins Cowart takes a deep breath, looks at his bat centered across his body, now back into his very wide stance in the lefty batter's box. D'Aquila shakes one, now nods. The payoff, a called strike 3, our first called strikeout of the day, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Chance D'Aquila. The Red Sox put another 0 on the board. The score is 4-2, and we head to the bottom of the 6th on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Bottom of the 6th, the Gatemen got 2 back in the last inning. They're now facing Doc Torzik, who's starting off an inning for the first time today after coming in relief of Finnegan Wall in the 5th. Doc Torzik
Designated hitter number 12,
standing
Landon Wallace from
on
West
the
Virginia.
mound facing Landon Wallace, who has 2 flyouts on the day. He pitches, and it's fouled back behind the fence for strike 1. A regular infield, honestly a rarity to see a regular infield with Scott Pickler as the coach. Doc Torzik, the kick and deal, hammered out towards left field. Austin going back for it, and it's above his head. He can't make the grab. Extra bases for Wallace, and he holds up at second, a leadoff double for the Gatemen as he gives a hand-waving celebration.
That ball was hit really hard. Austin would have had a chance at that, but he just lost it off the bat. Ball was hit that way, and he was just frozen, didn't see where that ball was and couldn't get a read right away, and as a result, he had to make kind of a frantic effort at it, and it got over his head.
Sebastian Murillo, who has reached twice in his 2 plate appearances with a single and a walk, represents the tying run in this game, which felt like it was going all YD's way until the 5th. Now no outs, leadoff runner on second. Doc Torzik shrugs and deals the first pitch. It's outside, ball 1. Doc Torzik likes to hold his glove all the way up on his left shoulder. Now steps back, gets into his stance, a deep breath, checks his runner. Pitch on the way. Outside again, and the count is 2-0. A shift on this time for the Red Sox. Day giving signs to Doc Torzik. Over at second, he's behind the bag, protecting the runner. Vieira backed up to the grass, and Darby over at the third base line. Christian shifted over. It's actually Brady Day who has come in replacement of Jacob Christian, and Gleed has moved over to first. The outfield remains the same. Count still 2-0. Doc Torzik back in the stretch. The pitch fouled back again, strike 1. Murillo walked his last time around. Day in the game likely because he's been one of YD's best defenders, has made a couple really nice plays over at second base. The 2-1. Murillo hits it deep towards left field. Coming in, Austin makes the grab, and the runner forced to hold off. That ball was hit to about the middle infield, the middle outfield in left field, but Austin's speed got him there in time to make the grab. Not deep enough to advance the runner. And that's the first out for the Red Sox. Brings up Zach Stewart. Doc Torzik checking his runner. Pickoff move towards second, resets the clock. First pitch yet to be thrown to the Missouri Valley Conference second team selection. Now set. He deals. Hit up the first base line. Gleed has it leaning over. Doc Torzik makes the out at first. Runner advances. 2 outs with a runner on third for the Red Sox.
That ball hit on the dirt, but there might have been a mound of some sort as it almost tied up Gleed and got by him. It hit awkwardly off the bounce and did not continue on the trajectory that it was. Gleed had good reaction to hold on to that ball. Doc Torzik continuing to work around that leadoff double.
It's the 8-hitter Jedier Hernandez trying to bring this game within 1 or tie it. He could tie it with a homer, and he takes strike 1. Hernandez has no RBIs this season, looking for his first. The shrug from Doc Torzik, the 0-1. Outside, ball 1. And Wallace, who took a big jump towards home, is called off no, no, no by the third base coach. The count's 1-1. Doktorzik delivers. Hernandez hits it high in the air towards left field. Going back is Austin, and the catch is made. That will end the sixth. We head to the top of the seventh. The score remains 4-2. It's Perri, Kitei, and Luke West Poley on the Cape League Broadcast Network.
The Armadennis Red Sox want to thank Cape Cod Veterinary Specialists for sponsoring this broadcast. Cape Cod Veterinary Specialists provide premier emergency and specialty care for your beloved companions. They are located in Dennis and Buzzards Bay and are open 24 hours a day. Top of the seventh here from Wareham, and it's 4-2 YD. First pitch to Dub Gleed. Bounces in for ball one from Chance Tequila, who's back on the bump. Worked a 1-2-3 after retiring the side in the fifth. Got through the order quickly in the sixth. 1-0. Hammered left side, but foul. That one will get down right next to the goalpost. Actually hits off the base of the goalpost over there. And it's a ball and a strike. Gleed has moved over to first base in the field. The 1-1 deal. Breaking ball finds the bottom part of the zone for strike two. One goalpost is over in foul territory on the left side. The other one is in right center, right over the fence. You could hit a home run through it if you tried. 1-2 pitch. Leaner away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nothing to swing at there for Dub Gleed, who's 0 for 2. Pop out his last time. Aquila shakes one, winds, and now fires. Lifted up and out of play. Gleed stays alive at 2-2 and spoils the 2 strikes. Some YD players getting some long toss in foul territory over on the right side. 2-2. Grounder sharply over to third. It's off the glove of Bozer and into left field. Gleed takes a round around first, but he will halt there as trotting over Stewart recovers it in left, losing the hat to do so. See how that scored. It was a screamer. Could go either way for Gleed, but regardless, he is aboard for the first time, and that brings up Enzo Apodaca.
Gleed was being waved around to second because that ball made its way into shallow right field and was a little bit of a run for Bozer over at third, but he thought it would only be a single and didn't quite have the speed to make it around, so he held up at first.
Rolled an E5. Third base now in for Apodaca with a runner on first, nobody out. First pitch to the lefty, and he takes on the inner half for strike one. Bozer Got a step in on the grass, a little bit off the line over at third base. Rest of the infield is playing straight up against the Gonzaga Bulldog. He's got a new bat as well with the Jeff McNeil style handle to it. Next pitch on the way. Misses outside for ball one.
A missed throw from the YD catchers out there on the side, hit off of the fence and actually rolled onto the field, and that wall was chasing it.
Aquila sets the 1-1 pitch. Apodaca rips it up the middle, base hit. Stop sign put up at second for Gleed. And station to station they go. That flips the lineup back to the top of the order for YD. It's now first and second, nobody out here in the seventh. RJ Austin is 1 for 2 with a single, a run scored, and a sac fly. His last time up, he grounded out to first base. Scott Pickler with a sign to his infield. It's begun to lightly drizzle here in Wareham. Reaching behind him, DeQuilla now sets at the belt. Takes a breath, looks back at second, and pitches. Bunt is squared, it's pulled back, pitch sinks low for ball one.
That was a really well-hit ball from Apodaca right into that left center gap on a line. Didn't have a chance at being caught, but right over the heads of the infield. He has been hitting single after single lately.
1 ball, no strikes to RJ Austin. Look back at second from DeQuilla, now home, back to second, now the pitch, 1-0. Bunt again pulled back. That one clips the top of the zone for strike one. Austin, the Vanderbilt Commodore, trying to get YD some runs back. They led 4-0 in this game, and then a 2 spot in the 5th inning kept Wareham in it. Corners are in at both first and third for the Gatemen. Long hold, and now the 1-1. Bunt is up, and it's put down right in front of the mound. Fielded on the bare hand nicely. The throw on to first by DeQuilla is just in time to beat out the speedy Austin. That bunt didn't look like it was single worthy, but nearly was. If it wasn't for the bare hand by DeQuilla, he probably would have been safe over at first, but the sacrifice still works out all the same. It moves runners to second and third with 1 out for Xander Darby, who's been swinging a hot bat. He's been on base all 3 plate appearances today.
Signs come from Coach Pickler over to Xander Darby, who's had a fantastic day.
Infield comes into the edge of the grass for the Gatemen here in the top of the 7th with 1 out. First pitch on the way. Taken below the zone for ball one. Apodaca on second, Gleed on third. Both guys that pack a clean bit of speed.
Darby had a monster double on a line his last time around, all the way out to right center.
1-0, taken off a plate. 2 balls, no strikes. Scott Pickler telling Apodaca before that last pitch to extend his lead a little. Second base obviously not being covered with the infield in on the grass. And so Apodaca's really got all the room in the world to creep off the bag. 2-0. Swing and a ripper left side out to deep left field. Backtracking Stewart makes the catch short of the warning track. Tagging from third, the relay will be cut off and Gleed scores. It's a sac fly for Xander Darby, and YD gets one back here in the 7th. It's now 5-2 Red Sox.
Third sac fly run scored on the day. YD just putting it in play and giving the runners opportunities to score. They've really been taking advantage and making the most out of these at-bats.
Max Vieira from Seton Hall.
Apodaca held off at second. Max Vieira now up to the plate with that runner on second, and now 2 gone. A squat over the mound from DeQuilla from the stretch. Looks over at second, now comes home. Taken waist high for strike one.
Vieira was responsible for that first run scored off a sac fly. His was to medium right field.
Vieira is 1 for 2 on the day after that sac fly. 0-1 pitch on the way. Lifted up the opposite way and foul. That one will twist out of play. No balls, 2 strikes to Max Vieira. Top 7 here from Wareham. It's 5-2. YD leading over the Gatemen as the Red Sox look to keep their narrow half-game lead over the field atop the East Division. No balls, 2 strikes to Vieira. And pitch. Chopper over to third, foul ball. That one just escapes the line, and we will do it again at 0-2. For Wareham, they are currently leading the 2nd place race, which has really been the only contentious spot in the West Division, as Kitei has run away with things to start the year. They are now, though, just 2 games back of the Kettleers, who started off really hot, have cooled off a little bit lately. 0-2 to Vieira. Taken at the shoulders for ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And now, from behind the plate, Jedier Hernandez comes out to talk to his pitcher. So with that runner on second, an RBI opportunity for Vieira, who's driven in 7. He's been very efficient at the plate this year, hitting .338. And his teammate behind the plate wanted to give a pause to his at-bat and go chat to his pitcher. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Max Vieira. Crowd has thinned here from Spillane Field in Wareham. Hernandez returns behind the plate. We get time called as now looks like ball might have come onto the field out and left from out of the Wareham bullpen, and so they will go retrieve that, and we will pause for a moment. One ball and 2 strikes. And the pitch to Vieira. Taken high for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Vieira standing back in. YD looking to restore the lead that once stood at 4. Here comes the pitch. Outside for ball 3. Secondary lead rather large from Apodaca, but he will retreat as Hernandez kept that one from going to the backstop. And the count is full with 2 outs. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. YD leading 5-2 over Wareham. Pitch on the way. Foul just behind home plate. Got a piece of it barely, and he stays alive.
Vieira is standing really far back in the box and waiting on these pitches for a long time.
Foul straight back generally indicates lateness on the pitch, so a defensive type of swing that time from Vieira to stay alive.
His lead foot is behind the edge of home plate.
Payoff on the way. Looper, left side, right at the shortstop. Murillo makes the catch, side retired. Whitey gets one in the top of the 7th inning as we reach stretch time here from Wareham. It's 5-2 Red Sox. You're listening to YD Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network.
To 8, 9, 8, 8.
5-2 Red Sox, bottom of the 7th inning here from Spillane Field. Jason Doktorzik back on the mound for YD to replace, or to come in for another inning after replacing Finnegan Wall, I should say. Garen Caulfield leads off for the Gatemen, 9-1-2 coming up. Doktorzik's first pitch. Breaking ball shoveled on the bottom of the zone for strike 1 by Will King behind the plate. Caulfield is 1 for 2, scored 1 of 2 runs in this game that came across in the 5th for the Gatemen. Doktorzik pulls the foot back. Now the 0-1 offering on the way. Breaks in there for strike 2. 2 very similar pitches, similar locations, and the same result. No balls, 2 strikes. to Garen Caulfield. Gatemen down to their final 9 outs. Comes home. Snapped up high, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Doc Torzik has been a guy that this season out of the bullpen can eat up some innings, generally a 4-inning type of guy through his few appearances. Time is called as Doc Torzik was about halfway through his wine. Home plate umpire was verbalizing it, Stephen Williams, so palms are up in the sky asking what happened from Doc Torzik, and some of the YD coaching staff also wondering the same, but looks like the batter had called time and Doc Torzik just wasn't aware of it when he started his windup. So now we're back ready for the 1-2. Here it comes. Lifted out to deep left field, backtracking. This ball's going to get out to the wall and off the base of the wall. Scooped up, it's fired back in, and pulling into second base, standing up. Caulfield's got his second hit.
And that's Nathan Archer out in right field. He's come in relief of R.J. Austin. This is a move that has been regular for Coach Pickler. And yesterday when he brought in Archer in the late innings, he hit a home run, was 1 of 4 yesterday, or 2 days ago before the off day.
So a runner on second with nobody out. Back to the top of the order. Jason Doc Torzik was having a rather stern conversation with home plate umpire Stephen Williams as the two had a disagreement about what just transpired with that whole time calling scenario. But regardless, a runner on second for David Glancy. Bat resting on his right shoulder. First pitch to him. Taken outside for ball 1.
Glancy has reached in all 3 plate appearances, is technically 0 for 0 as all 3 have been walks.
1 ball and no strikes. Has scored a run and been caught stealing as well, so been active on the base paths. 1-0 pitch. Scooped on the inner corner for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Glancy. Played this past season at St. John's, transferring as a graduate to Notre Dame. One, here comes the pitch. Outside for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike now. Both runs in this game were batted in off of Doc Torzik, but are charged to the starter Finnegan Wall, who went 4 innings. Doc Torzik looks at second, now the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Big fan that time from Glancy, who comes up empty, and the count is even 2-2.
Glancy's been a big source of power for the Gatemen, has 2 doubles and 3 home runs, so 5 extra base hits in just 12 total hits so far on the Cape.
Hitting an even 250 on the year. Bouncing the front foot, Doc Torzik takes a breath. Looks at a vacant third base, now deals. Flies off the plate, and the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Doc Torzik has not yet issued a walk. Has given up 2 hits, both of the extra base variety. Pair of doubles. Brings the glove up to the shoulder, bounces the heel, now he's set. A look back at second, and now the 3-2 pitch. Pushed up in the air and foul behind the bleachers. That gets out of play. Still 3 balls, 2 strikes from Glancy, who stays fighting. Doc Torzik's pitch count has been rather economical. He's thrown just 28 pitches so far. He's already worked through 2 innings. This is his 3rd of work after he came in with runners on, but no outs in the 5th. 3-2. Check swing, and the pitch misses low for ball 4 as Glancy held up. It's his 4th walk in as many plate appearances today.
Doc Torzik was aiming for the bottom of the zone, just missed by a few inches. King tried to frame it up, but a nice hold from Glancy. I don't know if I've seen a 4-walk game yet this season. Just showed discipline at the plate.
So the OBP is on its way up for Glancy here today, and that brings in Nick McLean. He's 0 for 2, but has also reached on a walk. First and second, nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th. 5-2 game led by YD. Doc Torzik fires. A first pitch strike on the inner corner.
That walk does put the force back in play for YD, which could be useful for this lead runner if the ball's in the infield.
0-1 to McLean. native of California, who, as Perry talked about earlier, started his career at UCLA. 0-1 pitch. Pushed up the third base line, but foul. That one landed about mid-outfield and just spun its way left of the line, and he falls down 0-2. McLean has since transferred from UCLA to Arizona State after he did not play at all and redshirted his freshman season for the Bruins. That was back in 2022. Missed the first part of the 2023 season due to injury, but returned mid-season. Couple looks between second and home. Now the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Doktorzik blew that one by him, and that's the first out of the inning.
Hussey looked like he was, or McLean looked like he was holding off on that and realized it was coming into the zone at the last minute, tried to throw a swing across the plate. Really awkward looking swing brings up Grant Hussey.
1 for 2, a sacrifice fly his last time up. Brought in one of the 2 Gatemen runs that have come in so far. 1 out in the bottom of the 7th, 5-2 YD. First and second. Middle infield pinch slightly for the Red Sox. Corners playing normally just behind the backs. Pickoff comes over to first. Wareham was all over it. Everybody knew before Doktorzik even moved, he had to tell that he was throwing over to first.
Gleed also started sprinting back to the bag, which is a giveaway as well.
Over at first base, Gleed guarding the line a little bit. Darby a little bit further off into the opposite field. Now a throw comes over to second, and no tag is applied as a dive back to the bag by Caulfield. First and second with 1 out. Can hear some throwing going on behind the fence in right. Shielded from our view. That's where the YD bullpen is at. Sounds like it might be a plyo ball, though, getting thrown against a wall. First pitch in there for strike 1 to Grant Hussey.
Really nice placement high and inside, just froze the batter.
He readies back up, working from the middle part of the box. Doktorzik resting the glove on that left shoulder. Now he brings his hand to it and is all set. The 0-1 kick and deal. Misses at the shins. 1 ball, 1 strike. Doktorzik wiggling his fingers along his thigh. Now he is back from the stretch. And the 1-1 pitch. High at the letters for ball 2. Doktorzik will take a moment to collect himself. Walked in front of the mound. Got that pitch back and had a couple of steps to himself. 2 balls, 1 strike. With the front foot slightly offset towards first, he's set. Looks at second, now fires. Swing and a miss, strike 2.
Hussey plays at West Virginia. As we've mentioned, he's also from West Virginia, Parkersburg to be specific, and was the USA Today West Virginia Player of the Year in high school. Just West Virginia across the board.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Pitch comes in. Blasted out towards right field, backtracking at the wall. That ball is foul. Just to the right of the line, lands in the YD bullpen. Lost it in the air there as Enzo Apodaca was slowing down over to it. Just to the right of the foul pole, and so we will do it again at 2-2. Hussey twirls the bat, not choked up one bit. Doktorzik makes some adjustments, takes a breath. The 2-2 pitch. Hit out the opposite way towards the left center gap. That ball is going to drop in, and it's off the wall. 1 run is in. Here comes the second. Stopping at second base, Hussey's got himself a 2 RBI double, and the Gatemen not done yet here in the 7th. That makes it a 1-run game. It's 5-4.
That ball was blasted. It was like the last foul ball that made it all the way to the fence, except right in the left center gap. Really strong hit, and these Gatemen knew it off the bat that it was dropping, gave them a really good jump, 2-run score, and it's a 1-run game.
Still just 1 out here in the 7th. Bobby Bozer is 1 for 3 with a single. He flew out his last time up. Doktorzik trying to weather this storm. He's been a 4-inning guy. This is his 3rd inning of work. Now pitching in a 1-run game. Set at the left shoulder. The first pitch on the way. Misses outside, ball 1. Every single hit Doc Torzik has allowed, 3 to be exact, have all been doubles. As the Gatemen have just found the gaps against him. He's given up 1 free pass, a walk to David Glancy, who just scored. 1-0 on the way. Called strike 1 on the bottom part of the zone, knee high. Evens the count at 1-1. Doc Torzik eyeing in on Will King, still there behind the plate. YD shifted with 3 on the left side. 1-1 pitch, here it comes. Swing and a miss, reaching out in front of it that time. Bozer falls down 1-2.
Bozer 1 for 3 on the day. His single was sandwiched by a strikeout swinging and a flyout.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Doc Torzik eyeing in on Will King. He's got his sign. Takes a breath. Looks over his shortstop now. Deals. The pitch gets away. Moving from second to third. Hussey now just 90 feet away. And a ball in play could potentially tie this game as the count evens 2-2 to Bobby Bozer. Wild pitch there from Doc Torzik. And YD forced to bring the infield in here. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Doc Torzik takes an audible breath. Just rubbing his fingers against one another with his free hand. Now he's set. The 2-2 comes home. High for ball 3. Nearly got away once again, and the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Doc Torzik spinning the ball around in his hand. It's got noticeably more humid here in the air for the last 20 minutes or so. Here comes the payoff pitch. Reached for and poked foul.
Well done, Bob. Well done. Good boy.
Bozer defends and stays alive with the full count.
Good boy, Sid.
3 balls and 2 strikes. Doc Torzik ready. Pitch on the way. Inside, ball 4. First base was open, so that does set up the force, but it puts the go-ahead run on base for Wareham. And that brings up Landon Wallace, who last time up scorched a double back in the 6th. And now we see Scott Pickler out of the YD dugout, and we'll see if Doc Torzik can keep going in this game. 2 walks, 3 doubles, 1 strikeout so far through 3 innings of work for Doc Torzik. Or 2 1/3, I should say, as he's in his 3rd inning.
And the conditions have really deteriorated here at Spillane Field. It's physically wet in the air, definitely affecting the ball, could make it a little slippery. You can see the water in the air being pushed around by the wind because of the lights shining from above. Really interesting climate.
Home plate umpire Stephen Williams hovering over Scott Pickler's shoulder. And Pick and Williams discussing. Point comes out to the bullpen, and we will see a new arm. New pitcher taking the mound for the Red Sox. Wareham has plated 2 and made it a 5-4 game. They're on the corners with 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. Back for a new hill when we return. You're listening to YD Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. know. Gotta believe.
It is not Strober.
You got the lead, Brian. Come on now. All right, ready? Taking the ball in relief, Blake Ida with the runners on the corners and one out in the bottom of the 7th inning. It's a 5-4 game. YD in front of the Wareham Gatemen. But Wareham has rallied here late after trailing 4-0 following 2 innings of play. They got 2 in the 5th. They've had 2 here in the 7th to make it a 1-run game, and the tying run just 90 feet away and the go-ahead on base. Landon Wallace is the hitter, facing off against Blake Ida, the Kennesaw State Owl, who's making his 5th appearance of the season, has served as kind of a de facto closer for Scott Pickler, but in a bit of a jam here coming in partway through an inning. Righty nods. Righty on righty as the first pitch comes in. Taken low and in for ball 1. Wallace 1 for 3. Pair of flyouts to begin his day, but last time up hit a double. Made it all the way to third before the side was eventually retired. Hanging the right arm, a look over at second from Ida. Now the 1-0, and it hits him. Splits the numbers, and Wallace wears it to get on base. That loads him up. And it will bring in Sebastian Murillo in the biggest at-bat this game has seen so far.
Yeah, the Gatemen could do some real damage here. Still just 1 out on now. Bases are loaded. We could hear the thud on the back of Landon Wallace from here, but he wears it. And the infield is not in.
First pitch to Murillo. Breaking ball finds the outside for strike 1. He's 1 for 2 on the day. Double play could end the inning for YG. Plays at any base with ducks on the pond. 0-1. Still out of the stretch. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Ida goes with the heat. And it's 0-2. Murillo flew out to left his last time up. A ball in the outfield could tie the game. Seen a whole lot of sac flies. Outfield that's rather large. If you can get it out there, it's been almost automatic to score that runner from third. 0-2. Called strike 3. Blake Ida, after hitting the batter to start things off, rebounds excellently as he strikes out Murillo in full command of that at bat, and now there's 2 gone.
Huge play from Ida. Ice in his veins. That's just the 2nd called strikeout of the day. First for YD. And now there's just 1 more out that could end the inning and hold the lead for the Red Sox.
Zach Stewart is 0 for 3. Red Sox are shifted on him. 3 on the right side. Backed up. Brady Day in the right field. First pitch. Snapped outside for ball 1. Bases are loaded in a 5-4 game. Bottom 7, 2 outs. YD leading. Righty on lefty. Pitch to Stewart. Breaking ball in there for strike 1. Noticeable speed difference between fastball and breaking ball from Blake Ida.
Ida is one of the hardest throwing pitchers in the league. Really varies his speed with the different.
Nods and sets. Now the pitch. Fouled straight back. And it's 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Blake Ida looking to go on damage control mode here and keep the lead for YD. Pitch. Pumped foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes still to Zach Stewart. Grounded out to first base his last time up. Not choked up on the bat. Looking to get something to the outfield. The 1-2 pitch. Fastball high. He takes above the shoulders. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two and 2 the count. Bases are juiced. Stewart looking for his first RBI of the year. The pitch. Lifted up, left side. This is just going to escape the field of play and land in front of the first row.
That ball was inches away from hitting Xander Darby's grandparents' dog, which is in a stroller. For a second, I thought there was a baby in the stroller, but it is their dog. Scared me nonetheless. That would have been horrifying.
Still 2-2 to Stewart. Then the pitch. Breaking ball lifted up, middle of the infield. Coming over from short. Darby calling everyone off from third. Makes the catch behind the mound, and that ends the inning. Wareham gets 2, but YD brings in the relief arm, and Blake Ida gets the necessary out to retain the lead. It's 5-4 YD, headed to the 8th here from Spillane Field. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. New Arm takes the mound here in the 8th inning from Wareham. We've got a game between the Red Sox and the Gatemen. It's 5-4 YD in front. Hunter Hines leads off for the Red Sox. And digs into the lefty box against a new pitcher as Tommy Kane takes the mound for Wareham. First pitch sinks low for ball 1. Kane plays at the University of Maryland. Just finished his first year with the Terps after couple of years at Rowan College in New Jersey. 1-0 pitch on the way. In there for strike 1 on the inner half. Hunter Hines is 0 for 3 with an RBI. RBI number 22 on the season. The lefty, Kane, winds up and fires. Down low for ball 2.
Kane is another one who short arms it. Really interesting release, comes almost from over his head. A very downwards motion.
2-1 on the way. Grounder ripped over to first. Coming over on it, Hussey flips to a covering Kane, who steps on the bag with his left foot to beat out Hines for out number 1. And so with 1 out and the bases empty, that will bring up Will King, who hit a home run back in the first inning. He's 1 for 2, grounded out to short his last time up. Final line on Chance Tequila, 2 1/3, 1 hit, 1 unearned run. No walks and 1 strikeout. Lefty deals the first pitch to King, and it's low and gets away for ball 1. Very interesting way that Kane delivers in that he brings his glove over his head, but many of the guys, when you see that, they bring the glove over their head and then use that motion to go straight into their delivery. Here comes the 1-0. Drops into the top of the zone for strike 1. What Kane does is he brings the glove over his head and then brings the glove back down to waist level before firing. Here's the 1-1 pitch on the way. Lined up the middle, base hit into right center field, just over the head of Caulfield. It looked like he might have a play on it, but just escaped his range, and Will King has his second hit of the day.
It's a classic 8th inning Will King
Second
hit
baseman
right
number
there.
10,
A liner
Brady
gets him
Day
aboard.
from Kansas State.
Coming up big once again in the late innings in a high-pressure situation.
And so that brings in Brady Day, who's hitting in the place of Jacob Christian. First pitch today. Low for ball 1. Day came in as a defensive sub a couple of innings ago. Christian ends his day 0 for 3. Runner on first with 1 out in the 8th. The pitch. Low again for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Brady Day hitting .204 this year. Average has climbed up. And now we see Hernandez out to the mound. And we'll get a brief pause. And so Hernandez has his mask off and just gives a couple words of advice to Tommy Kane, the rising senior out of Broomall, Pennsylvania. Played just 1 game last summer, only pitched a third of an inning in the MLB Draft League. Summer prior to that, played for Wisconsin Rapids in the Northwoods League. 2-0 and 17 bullpen appearances for the Terps this year. Pitch on the way today. Drops low for ball 3. Working low in the zone, just hasn't quite been able to elevate that pitch and find the bottom part of it. Days ahead 3-0. Long hold, now he fires. Ball 4. Down near the shoes. And that puts runners on first and second. And most of all here, Perry, for YD, you are sort of stifling this momentum now by dragging out this inning a little bit and getting some base runners. Even if you don't end up scoring, you could say that this is a successful inning by just slowing this game down a bit as Jacob Jenkins-Cowart stands in.
Yeah, and this mist really picking up. The new pitcher, too, has kind of changed things around. D'Aquila was doing a good job.
First pitch to Jenkins-Cowart just underneath the zone for ball 1. Still out of the stretch. Kane with a rather quick delivery. Looks back at second. Now he deals. Called strike at the knees. 1-1 the count to Jenkins-Cowart, who's 1 for 3 with a base hit coming in the second. Lefty on lefty. Night that has turned foggy here from Wareham. 1-1. Called strike 2 on the bottom part of the zone. Kane has opened up that bottom part of the zone now and has started to get that call now that he's found it. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Jacob Jenkins-Cowart. First and second, 1 out here in the 8th. The pitch just fouled it off. Hit off the catcher behind the plate in Hernandez and dribbled in front of home. And he spoils the 2-strike offering. One ball and 2 strikes to Jenkins-Cowart. And the pitch bounces in, chested down by Hernandez, and he gets to it. Both runners halt for YD. Still on first and second, as it's now 2-2. The set, a look at each runner, and now the pitch. Swinging a foul tip, dribbles behind home plate. Jenkins-Cowart still alive at 2-2.
Really drawing out this at-bat, as you said, Luke, just eating away here. It's been a long game already, 2.5 hours in the top of the 8th, and Jenkins-Cowart about to face the 7th pitch of his at-bat.
He's got Kane up to 17 pitches. He's recorded just 1 out. 2-2 deal. Outside ball 3. Hernandez comes over into the righty batter's box to put that squeeze on. Full count with 1 out. Sign from Scott Pickler on third base. 2 his base runners. Glove pinned on the front hip for Tommy Kane in his first inning in relief. The payoff. Grounded over right side, coming around from second. It's secured by Caulfield, only placed to first, and it's beaten out by Jenkins Cowart. Had to come a long way to get that one. Caulfield fielded it in shallow right. A really nice effort to get there, but then his throw was delayed a little bit. Looked like it took him a while to pull that out of the web of his glove and misgripped the ball and just kind of rainbowed it over to first. It was a very slow throw that Jenkins Cowart beat out by half a step, and now they are loaded with 1 out as every runner moves up 90 feet for YD, and Dub Gleed will be the batter. And now we see Ryan Smith coming out from the Wareham dugout.
I think he also slipped on the grass. It looked like he really lost his footing. I'm surprised he got off an accurate throw at all. As we said, this mist has been hanging in the air. The field is really slippery out there, and even with cleats on, really easy to lose your footing, and Jenkins Cowart is the beneficiary of that.
Infield meeting here for Wareham, and we will see a call out to the bullpen as they are going to take Kane out of the game and replace him with a new arm. Bases loaded with 1 out as YD looks to kill this Wareham rally with some runs of their own here in the 8th. Back with the bases loaded and Dub Gleed at the plate when we return. You're listening to Red Sox Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Bases are loaded in the top of the 8th with 1 out. And YD leading Wareham by a 5-4 score. And Will Koger, the righty out of the University of Louisville, gets the ball for the Gatemen. 4.5 ERA this season and 6 innings pitched in a big spot here in the 8th. As Wareham cut this to a 1-run game in the bottom of the inning. YD looking to answer. Dub Gleed at the plate. Corner infield is in. Middle infield and double play depth. First pitch to the righty. Breaks beneath the zone for ball 1. Gleed reached on an error his last time up. Hit a ball hard third base side that glanced off the glove of Bozer. Came around to score YD's run that came in the 7th. 1-0 pitch. Sharply grounded foul. Third base side again. He just turned on it and burned that one up the grass, but in foul territory. 1 ball, 1 strike. Gleed looking for his first hit. Officially 0 for 3. Koger hanging the arm. He's pitching out of the stretch. Got the red Adidas cleats on, repping Louisville from the first base side of the rubber. A breath. Now he comes home. Bunt is squared and it's pulled back as the pitch sinks low. 2 balls and a strike.
A squeeze bunt attempt. Really interesting call.
Scott Pickler with another sign. Gleed working from the back of the batter's box. Up on the toe of his front foot. The 2-1, here it comes. Foul tipped. And it's 2-2. YD offense that has produced 5 runs. They've got 2 hits in this inning. One of them an infield single most recently from Jacob Jenkins Coward, also a walk. They've got bases loaded. 2-2 the count to Gleed. Koger fires. Taken low for ball 3, and the count is full.
Good hold by Gleed, a little bit of a turn in the shoulders, but saw it coming in low.
3 balls, 2 strikes to Gleed. Koger's got nowhere to put him. Hanging the right arm. He finds his grip and sets just above the belt. The payoff, here it comes. Slow grounder, left side, fielded in fair territory. No, foul territory by Bozer. He thought he got it fair, but home plate umpire Stephen Williams said foul. Bozer went home with it. Initially looked like they were going to play that one out, but it looked like the play that unfolded right in front of us was in foul territory, and so Gleed will come back and do it again. Looks like he broke his bat, so he's going to have to go switch bats in the middle of his at-bat. Brand new bat that he just broke.
Lucky break for YD, and Dub Gleed gets another shot at it. King was going to be out at home.
Also just announced over the PA system that there's a pinch runner over there on first, which there definitely is. It looks like Casey Cook in for Jacob Jenkins Coward. So he's over on first. Count is still 3-2 to Dub Gleed. Koger pitches. Fouled straight back. And Gleed stays alive.
Dub Gleed upping the drama. Bases loaded. YD leads by 1 with 1 out. A full count. Doesn't get better than this.
Another pitch incoming.
The 8th pitch of this at-bat.
Koger looks back at second. 3-2 deal. Ripped foul. That ball was scorched right in front of us. Gleed continuing to hit the ball really hard towards the pull side, just yet to straighten it out.
He's gone right up this third baseline, but foul at least 3 times now. Bozer over here protecting the line and protecting against Will King, the runner on third.
9th pitch incoming. The first batter Koger has faced in this jam, making him work. 3-2 comes in. Lifted foul, and we're officially in double-digit territory. This feels like a big momentum at bat now. Wareham could still pull something from this if they were able to hold YD scoreless, especially if Koger was able to get this strikeout. On the flip side, Red Sox looking to break it open the other way. 3-2 to Gleed on the way. Sky to shallow left field, coming around it. Stewart looks to be camped. Now maybe he's lost it. He's called off, and he dropped the ball. Throw comes into third, and it is in time to get the out as the YD runners were frozen. But a run will come in to score as Stewart just lost that ball in the sky. And YD gets an insurance run as it's now 6-4. So it's a long fielder's choice for Dub Gleed. Brady Day is put out. Everybody else moves up. And now they're on first and second with 2 outs in a 6-4 game. Enzo Apodaca at the plate. Tough break there for Wareham. And a play that you definitely feel weather has an impact on. Lefty on, or righty on lefty now as Koger looks back at second and deals the first pitch to Apodaca. Cranked foul behind home. It's off the roof. Nearly came back onto the field after hitting the school, but instead it'll be 0-1 as Apodaca just takes a second to collect himself out of the lefty box.
Apodaca 2 for 3 today. Both of them well hit line drives to the outfield.
No balls and a strike. And the pitch popped up and out of play. 0-2 to Apodaca with 2 outs. Here in the top of the 8th, 6-4 YD. RBI fielder's choice for Dub Gleed, who lifted one up to left field that was lost in the sky and dropped in.
Let's go, Kogi. Come, baby.
Koger set from just above the belt. 0-2 pitch. Fouled off behind home. Apodaca fights it, and it's still 0-2. YD gets a much-needed insurance run. Making Will Koger throw a lot of pitches here in relief. A couple of longer at-bats. 0-2. Drops in for ball 1. Ran in on Apodaca that time, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Enzo looking for his 3rd hit of the day. It's been a contact machine for YD. Now the count 1-2. Koger comes plateward. Fouled behind home again. And so another nice defensive swing from Apodaca.
He's just under these, and they're not getting popped up very high, kind of lined back into the fence.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Koger set from above the belt. The pitch bounces in, came off the neck area there of Hernandez, who is signaling time to call for the home plate umpire. That ball popped his mask off. He got to that to make sure that the YD base runners weren't going to advance, and then immediately signaled the home plate umpire, Stephen Williams, he wanted time, and he'll take a moment to gather himself, but looks like he's going to tough this one out. 2 balls and 2 strikes now the count to Enzo Apodaca. Nathan Archer on deck for YD, who homered as a substitution late a couple of nights ago against Chatham. Two-two pitch. Fouled into the glove, strike 3, and that retires the side. So YD gets something in the 8th as the awkward pop-up play from Dub Gleed that falls in brings 1 run home, and the Red Sox now lead it by 2 with Wareham down to their final 6 outs. 6-4 our score. Gatemen to the plate when we return. You're listening to YD Baseball here on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Blake Ida back to the mound for YD in what is now a 6-4 game. And the first pitch he deals on the way is outside for ball 1 to a pinch hitter that has come into the game for Wareham, a left-handed swinger. It's Josh Stevenson out of LSU. 1-0 pitch in there for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Red Sox saw him last time these two teams met. He's in the transfer portal. 1-1 pitch on the way.
But he's
Drops
still going to
low.
get that World Series ring.
And it hit him. So he wears it on the foot.
Second baseman, number 20, Garen Caulfield from the University of Arizona.
And so now Garen Caulfield will come to the plate as he's 2 for 3, runner on first. And nobody out. First pitch in there for strike 1. Wareham trying to continue that rally that they started last inning. YD stifled things a bit with a run of their own in the top of the 8th. Very long top of the 8th that took some of the air out of the dugout. 0-1 in there for strike 2. Gatemen down to their final 6 outs, but the tying run at the plate right now. Ida, brief look at first. Now the 0-2. Leans away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Garen Caulfield, who's scored a pair of the Gatemen's 4 runs. Small lead on first. The pitch. Same spot. Ball 2. Ida just rising that one high. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Aggressively wiping his hands off on the towel and himself trying to get a better grip on the ball.
The pitch. Lined out towards left field, coming around it. Archer reaches up with 2 hands and makes the catch for out number 1. Runner retreats to first. And that brings up the top of the order with 1 gone. David Glancy has come to the plate 4 times. He's walked 4 times. He drives his way up to the plate. Runner on first with 1 gone. Blake Ida worked his way out of a jam in the last inning, trying to work around a base runner. First pitch. Clips the top of the zone to the righty for strike 1. Glancy has scored a run his last 2 times on base, after being caught stealing in the first and being stranded on first base in the third. 0-1. Bounces in. King picked it out of the dirt with his glove and holds the runner at first. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nick McLean on deck for Wareham. He's 0 for his last 3 after walking to begin the game. 2-step lead on first, swinging the arms back and forth. Stevenson. 1-1 pitch. Bounces in again, chested down by Will King, and he'll hold on to it and keep the runner over on the right side again. 2 balls and a strike now, as Glancy's ahead in the count.
2 really nice defensive stops from King behind the plate. We've seen a few balls get past him in the past, but today doing a good job of keeping it in front and getting to it quickly.
The 2-1 pitch nearly hits him. He leans out of the way, and that's ball 3. Ida just flamed that one up near the neck head area. Will King called time to go out to the mound and speak with Blake Ida, and now Scott Pickler has called time to come out of the dugout.
Glancy had 10 walks coming into today. He has added 4 and could add a 5th with 1 more pitch, which would mean he's increasing his walks by 50%, if I'm doing my math correctly, which I totally could not be. Definitely going to raise that on-base percentage.
There is a pitcher warming in the YD bullpen. Can hear the snap of the glove out there. But Scott Pickler, for now, will return to his dugout and will not take the ball. So Blake Ida stays in the game. 3 balls and 1 strike the count to Glancy. Ida does have an out, and he's recorded here in this inning, but has already walked 1 batter. That's Josh Stevenson, the pinch hitter, who's standing over on first base.
I'm glad.
Ida, the righty, rubbing his fingers. Brief look at first, now he sets. 3-1 pitch. High for ball 4, nearly got him in the head there. And Glancy goes down to a knee, and that's his 5th walk of the game in 5 plate appearances.
Right fielder number 15, Nick McLean from
Hard to
Arizona
believe. I
State.
mean, that's unreal plate vision.
I've never seen that in my life, 5 walks in a game.
First and second, 1 out for Nick McLean. And now Scott Pickler has seen enough. He's out of the dugout, and that spells the end of the road for Blake Ida. Ida got out of a jam when YD needed him to do it out of the bullpen, but has struggled a little bit here in the 8th. Red Sox not taking any chances as they will go to the bullpen once more to try and close out this game. 1 out, first and second for the Gatemen with their 2-hitter Nick McLean at the dish. When we return, a new arm takes the mound for the Red Sox on the other side of this break. You're listening to YD Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Jackson Roberts takes the mound for YD, the freshman from Campbell, who makes his 3rd bullpen appearance of the season. His last time out gave up 1 run in an inning against Orleans. Prior to that, a scoreless inning of work against Falmouth, in which he gave up 3 hits and struck out 2. He will face off against Nick McLean. 1 out, runners on first and second, with YD clinging to a 2-run lead. Righty on lefty first pitch. Rides high for ball 1. McLean is 0 for 3. He walked his first time to the plate back in inning number 1. Since then, 2 strikeouts and a flyout for him. Roberts' last pitch 3 days ago, twirling the ball, now he sets. And the pitch. Clips the inner corner for strike 1. Some groans coming from the Gatemen faithful. That ball just got a piece of the zone. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Roberts in 2 appearances has only gone 2 innings. 4 hits, 1 earned run allowed.
1-1 pitch, here it comes. Reacher curled foul. High hopper. Was tough to see where that ball was going, but no YD players were really in pursuit, and that ball ended up next to the dugout. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Nick McLean. Roberts, the right-hander, with his glove pressed up against his front foot. Now he sets at the belt, looks back at second. 1-2 pitch coming in. Fastball high and tight. Evens the count at 2-2. Roberts with the ball behind his leg. Lasers in on Will King behind the plate. The 2-2 pitch. Crushed out towards right field, coming in. Cook can't field it on the hop, and it gets by him. Wounding third and coming in. Stevenson scores. Stop sign put up at third base for Glancy. And that ball got by Cook, and a mistake from the right fielder for YD, who couldn't keep it in front of him. That makes it a 1-run game as the Gatemen strike back in the bottom of the 8th.
In that situation with a 2-run lead and the runner on second, it's really a tough choice. Cook is very good in the field, but diving for that, you know, you got to think about the risk versus reward factor in that.
Wilby scored a double, and that puts 2 in scoring position. The tying run 90 feet away, the go-ahead 180 with Grant Hussey at the plate, who doubled his last time. He's 2 for 3 on the day. He also has a sac fly and a single. Roberts comes set over at first base. Man is level with the bag. Roberts turned around and pump faked over to second. And Ryan Smith is out to talk to the home plate umpire. There were some Gatemen coaches that wanted a balk call there. There was no one covering the bag out at second, and Roberts just turned around and made a really hard pump fake. Basically went through a full throwing motion, just kept the ball in his hand the whole time. Over to second, where the YD infield was split. There was no one within about 20 feet of the second base bag. A lot of room up the middle. Coach back to the dugout. And so now we will get our first pitch to Hussey. Here comes. Up high, back pick to third is not in time. Ball 1, Will King loves to keep these base runners on their toes, puts a lot of pressure on that secondary lead, loves to back pick towards third.
He was on the watch list for Buster Posey National Collegiate Catcher of the Year earlier in 2023.
1-0 pitch. Hussey crushes this one deep to right field. Cook going back at the wall, and it's gone. Grant Hussey, second of the season. It's a 3-run shot, and the Gatemen take the lead in the bottom of the 8th. Three-quarters of the way now to the cycle. Grant Hussey, the Huss bus, puts the Gatemen out in front.
In support of local workforce housing initiatives.
8-6 now our score in the bottom of the 8th, and for Jackson Roberts, needing to just rein things in here if his team wants a chance in the top of the 9th. Bobby Bozer up to the plate now, 1 out and the base is clear. First pitch to the righty. Flies outside for ball 1.
That ball was smashed by Grant Hussey, and this crowd started cheering before it even cleared the fence.
1-0 pitch. Bounces in for ball 2. And so, Roberts falls behind 2-0. From the line, pitch on the way. Cracked out towards left field, backtracking. Archer at the wall has the room and makes the catch. 2 gone. So 8-6 now our score with Wareham in front. YD certainly has the capability to get things back. Top of the order is on deck. It'll be a pinch hitter, though, as Nathan Archer will come up to start the inning for YD after coming in to substitute. The batter with 2 gone on the bases clear is Landon Wallace. First pitch to him. And he takes strike 1 down the heart of the plate. Wallace 1 for 3 with a double and a hit by pitch in his last 2 plate appearances. 4 spot put up by the Gatemen. Pitch. Ball upstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. So YD will have the top 3 in the order. It's the 1-1. Skies high, 2 balls, 1 strike. Archer, Darby, Vieira coming to the plate. From the wind, Roberts fires in. Check swing, and that ball is in the dirty, held up. 3 balls and 1 strike now. As Wallace in front. Roberts working quickly. The pitch. Popped up foul. And the count is full with the bases empty. 8-6, the Gatemen have taken the lead. This is first time this season we've seen YD relinquish a late lead like this. 3-2 comes in. Misses low, ball 4. Wallace keeps the inning alive with the 2-out walk. And now it's Sebastian Murillo.
Wareham has completely flipped the script in this game, and now YD will head to the top of the 9th after they get this last out and forced to make another attempt at a 9th inning comeback. First the Gatemen.
First pitch on the way. Across the plate for strike 1. Had the magic last time. Bit of a different circumstance, but gonna need it again here on this Wednesday night to kick off week 4.
Well, the top of their order is a good place to start.
0-1 pitch comes in. Breaking ball hammered out towards left field. Archer coming around it, short of the warning track. He is camped, and he makes the catch to retire the side. Wareham strikes for 4 in the bottom of the 8th inning, and the Gatemen have taken a late lead just like that. The Red Sox have their backs against the wall. They need 2 with 3 outs to work with when we come back. To the top of the 9th from Spillane Field, you're listening to YD Baseball on the Cape League Broadcast Network. Top of the 9th inning here from Spillane Field in Wareham, and it's 8-6. The Gatemen steal the lead in the bottom of the 8th over YD. Nathan Archer leads off righty on lefty against Will Coger. First pitch to him on the way. Misses below the zone for ball 1. Archer blasted a home run over the right field wall in the last game the Red Sox had against Chatham. This is his first at-bat today after coming on as a defensive substitution in left for R.J. Austin. Coger's 1-0. Fouled back off the bottom of the bat, and it evens the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Change behind the plate as Tommy Spillane takes over for the pinch hit Gideon Hernandez, who was previously catching.
Archer batting .333 through 15 games here on the Cape.
1-1. Swing and a miss. He was out in front of the ball low near the dirt. He goes down 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Nathan Archer, batting in the 1 spot in the order for the first time in this game. 1-2 pitch, here it comes. Bumped foul behind home.
Archer has 3 home runs on the season, second only to Hunter Hines with his 6th. If YD can get a base runner aboard, we'll likely see Hines batting in the cleanup spot.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Nathan Archer. Koger hurls home. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got it by him for the strikeout. And Archer can't connect for the first out of the inning. Xander Darby strides up, bases empty, 1 out. Darby has hit the ball hard today, a sac fly his last time up.
Number 12, Xander
Prior to
Darby
that,
from
reached
UC
base
Santa
all 3
Barbara.
times. First on an error, then a walk, then a double. Another lefty to face off against the righty, Will Koger. First pitch to Darby. Breaking ball up high, 1 ball, no strikes. Darby came in hitting .230. Average will increase following today. 1-0, here comes. Ball misses in, and it's 2-0.
Tommy Splain, the second Arizona Wildcat we've seen today behind the plate.
2 balls, no strikes. The pitch on the way. Down low for ball 3. That time he just yanked it in the dirt. And YD has Xander Darby at 3-0 with a chance to get their first base runner of the 9th inning. 3 balls, no strikes. Koger has the bases empty with 1 out in an 8-6 game led by the Gatemen in the top of the 9th inning. Pitch on the way. High for ball 4. Darby works the walk for the second time, and now the tying run comes to the plate for the Red Sox. It's by way of Max Vieira, who is 1 for 3, a sac fly, a single. His last 2
Shortstop,
times, a
number
ground out to
29,
first,
Max Vieira
and a pop out.
from Seton Hall.
Runner on first.
It's been by far Darby's best day at the plate. He's been on base now 4 times because he reached on a fielder's choice as well.
Small lead for him, no need for any movement. As the first pitch lifted up, right side, possibly playable, giving chase. Hussey makes the catch just next to the sidewall. And a deflating out there for YD as Max Vieira pops out to the first baseman, and the Red Sox are down to their final out. Good news, though, is that it is Hunter Hines. He is 0 for 4. Some would say he's due. The lefty swinger certainly has the power to tie this game with 1 swing of the bat. 2 outs in the 9th, 8-6 our score with a runner on first.
44, Hunter Hines.
Hines spinning the bat. Righty on lefty. First pitch to Hunter on the way. Lifted foul, and behind home it gets out of play. No balls and a strike to the CCBL's home run and RBI leader, Hunter Hines. Collected an RBI to add on to his lead. Still looking for that home run. 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Fastball by him. And the Red Sox down to their final strike. No balls, 2 strikes to Hunter Hines. Will Koger trying to collect the save. Or collect the win, I should say. As he now will take a long hold and fire. Called strike 3, and the ball game is over. Wareham steals one from YD after a 4-run 8th inning. The Gatemen take the second meeting between the 2 sides as Wareham takes it by a final score of 8-6.
Wareham
Gatemen improve to 8-6-2 on the season and continue to chase after first place Kitei, who was victorious today in the West Division. Out east for YD, Harwich currently trailing Hyannis, so it looks like, at least for the moment, that the Red Sox will still stay atop the East Division, but a tough one when you had the lead like you did in the late innings. Perri, this was an offensive effort that got going early, kind of faltered through the middle innings. They got a run in the 7th and the 8th, but just sort of stumbled at the end, and it felt like something was maybe coming for a Wareham team that had a whole lot of base runners through the early innings. Things just kind of broke open once they got to that 8th.
Yeah, Wall managed to hold them off at the beginning, but 4 pitchers for the Red Sox. We usually only see 2 or 3, and today they were just not on it out of the bullpen. 2 earned runs apiece for each of those 4 pitchers, so the damage kind of spread across the YD bullpen, and they had a solid day at the plate, plated 6 runs, a lot of base runners in there, a couple of walks, but at the end of the day, we felt the momentum coming from the Gatemen, and the script was flipped this time. It's Wareham making the late inning comeback against YD, and the series between the 2 teams now at 1-1.
So these 2 teams split for YD. They will be back at home tomorrow as they will take on the Bourne Braves in the second meeting between those 2 sides in cross-division play. A 4:45 start coming tomorrow from Red Wilson Field between the Red Sox and the Braves. Final line score of this game: 6 runs off 9 hits, no errors for YD, 8 runs off 9 hits, 2 errors for Wareham. As the winning pitcher in this one was Will Koger, who went an inning and 2/3, scoreless and hitless, 1 walk and 3 strikeouts for the Louisville Cardinal. Losing pitcher in this one for YD is Jackson Roberts, who went 2/3 of an inning, 2 runs off of 2 hits, 1 walk, and no strikeouts for the Campbell Fighting Camel. Tough loss for the Red Sox. They'll look to rebound tomorrow. 4:45 start, as mentioned, against the Bourne Braves, and we hope you will tune in then. So until tomorrow, for Perri, Kitei, our entire crew here at the YD Red Sox, thanks for tuning in on this Wednesday night. Final score: Wareham 8 and YD 6. This has been a presentation of YD Red Sox baseball, the Cape League Broadcast Network. We'll see you tomorrow.
Brutal, but I just